In this tutorial, you will learn how to create a website using WordPress, and it will be almost for free, because the only paying part will be the hosting. All the tools we will be using, they will be free. And perfect even if you don't know anything about coding or about creating websites. In the first part of the tutorial, I will show you how to set up WordPress and how to create your first website, starting with a pre-designed starter site. I will show you how to customize completely this starter site. Then we will learn together how to create pages from scratch by using a tool which is completely drag and drop and very easy and intuitive to use. And then we will see how to set up a beautiful contact form, which will be great in order to receive leads and contacts from people interested in your services. And at the end of the tutorial, I will show you also how to create a professional blog. And this could be a great solution if you want to drive traffic to your website. If you will have any questions during the tutorial, feel free to drop me a line down in the comment section below and I will do my best in order to reply to you. If you want, you can also directly jump to the sections that you are most interested in by using the timestamps that are at your disposal in the video. And if you want to get the most from this tutorial, I think you should also subscribe to our free online community. So I'll leave you the link. It's takeatutorial.com/join. It's a great idea if you want to grow with your website, with your skills, and if you want to have someone to ask some questions, or maybe you just want to share your website and get some feedback and some comments from the community. And you can join us whenever you want. Now I think we're ready to start the journey. So if you're ready to, let's dive in and let's create the website of your dreams. The first things you need to create a website are hosting and domain. The hosting is a space where you will actually install WordPress and host all your website's files. The domain is the name that people will type into the browser in order to reach your website. For example, youtube.com or takeatutorial.com are domain names. You have to know that there are hundreds of hosting and domain providers out there. And from my experience, it can be quite tricky to choose the right one. But luckily, you are here now, and I will show you how to install WordPress using one of the best hosting solutions out there, SiteGround. I've been using SiteGround as a client since 2014 and I'm still very happy about the service they're providing. There are mainly three reasons why I still recommend them and I still use them, of course. These are performance and security, so you will be sure that your website will load very fast and that there is a team behind it in order to make sure that everything runs smoothly behind the scenes. The second reason is the ease of use. It's very easy and it's quite amazing how they managed to revamp all their hosting user interface, and you will see it's very easy to find all the options that you need. It's very easy to create an email address, to install WordPress, to activate your SSL certificate, and all things that if you are a newbie can be very tricky in other hosting companies. When you choose SiteGround, you will be sure that it will be very easy for you to understand everything. The third reason why I still love SiteGround and I'm still recommending it, it's the support theme. It's very useful, it's friendly, and they are always at your disposal when you have any questions about WordPress or when you get stuck and you just need a friendly help to go on with your website's configuration. Okay, are you ready now? Let's choose your hosting plan together. You'll find a link to this page in the description below, and it's an affiliate link, so I thank you in advance if you want to support me and my work by clicking on this link before making your purchase. And here, as you can see, it's a beautiful design page, but most of all, you can also look at here at this part. We can see that the SiteGround, it's not only recommended by me, but also from WooCommerce, WordPress.org and WP Beginner. They are really big players in the WordPress ecosystem. Of course, the main one is WordPress.org. But now we can scroll down and we can see that there are three plans mainly. The first one is the Startup, the second one is the Grow Big, and the third one is the Go Geek plan. The first one, the Startup, I don't recommend it to you because it's very limited. You can only host one website on this plan, while in the other plans you don't have limitations on the number of websites that you can host, and you will have a small space at your disposal, and most of all you will have only small resources to handle little visits of your website, so 10,000 visits per month. So it's great only if you really want to create a small website, a small personal website and nothing more. But if you want to grow big, as the word says here, and if you want to make your website suitable for any kind of business and also ready, if you want to add an e-commerce maybe later on, or if you want to add some complex functionalities, or if you also want to host host the different websites on the same space, you can do it by choosing Grow Big or Go Geek plan. And in this case, you will have more space at your disposal, as you can see here, and most of all, more resources. So you can handle 100,000 visits in the Grow Big plan and 400,000 visits in the Go Geek plan. The unlimited word here, it's a bit tricky because it's not unlimited, of course, you have a space limitation here, but you can just host a lot of websites using your space. So you have to keep in mind that an average website, when you create it with some content inside, it's about 250 megabytes. So you will be able to host a lot of different websites in the same space here. And once you choose one of these plans, you will be always free to switch between one plan and the other, either later on and even after having purchased. So let's go here and check something interesting. You will have free SSL, which is great, and we'll show you how to create this, because it's very important to have this in order to have the lock here and in order to be sure that Google will see your website as a secure website. So this is very, very important. We'll also have a free CDN, which is great if you plan to have to receive visits of your website from all over the world, and will ensure that your website will load faster from all over the world. You will have a free email service included. That's great, and I will show you also how to create a personalized email address. For example, info@takeatutorial.com or info@yourwebsitename.com. It's great. And you will have also at your disposal this out-of-the-box caching. It's great because it's everything you need in order to make your website load fast. And it's great, and it's very, 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 very important. Down here, we have also 100% renewable energy. It explains to you that their main data center partner, so Google Cloud, matches 100% the energy consumed by their global operations with renewable energy, which is great. So we have in mind that they also care about the environment, which is very important nowadays. And here, down here, you will see some features that are only available if you choose Grow Big or Go Geek plan. The first one here, it's on-demand backups copies. That's great because if you want, you can save your website whenever you want. Of course, you will also have your daily backups that are automatic. But in this case, if you choose Grow Big or Go Geek plan, you will also be able to create some on-demand copies of your websites. Then your website will load faster because you will have 30% faster PHP, which is a tacky thing, but you don't worry because it's very easy to enable it, and most of the time it's already enabled for you. And then you will have staging copies. This is great because if you want to create a copy of your website and you want to test something out without having to impact your actual online website, you can do it by creating a staging copy in one simple click. It's very easy. Down here, you can see also the main features that are at your disposal if you choose the Go Geek plan, which are white label to clients. So you can white label all the space of your website if you want to create a website for your clients, and this is great. And you have a free private DNS. You have the highest tier of resources, which means that you can handle a lot of visits for a lot of websites, and you will have priority support. They will answer to you even quicker than on Grow Big and Startup plan. Now let's choose the plan that you want. You can choose the Startup, Grow Big or Go Geek. I strongly recommend you to choose the Grow Big one. Or the Go Geek if you already know that you want to host some e-commerce websites or you're planning to grow big very quickly. Let's click on Get Plan. And now we need to choose a domain name. So take your time because it can be quite tricky to choose a good domain name. Most of the time, it will work well if you have a personal business, for example, to choose your name and surname, or if you have a brand, you should use the same name of your brand. For example, my brand is takeatutorial.com, and so Take a Tutorial will be my domain name. Of course, I've already bought it, so it's not available now, but in your case, take your time and choose a good name. If I try to choose a domain name that is already taken and I click on Proceed, I will see a message that says the domain name you have chosen is not available. Please try a new domain name search in the domain name box above. And I will also see some suggestions here to choose a different domain with different extensions. And from here, you will also be able to choose to switch between different extensions. You can choose .es if you are in Spain, you can choose .et if you are in Italy, and in general, if you are building a commercial website for a business, .com works very fine, or .eu, .org, .biz, you can choose whatever you want, but .com is the most used one. Now we'll choose a different domain name. Let's hope it's free and click on Proceed. And that's it. Congratulations. Domain mygreatwebsiteishere.com. It's available for registration with your hosting account. Great. In this part, you have to add your account information, and let's create them together. So info, I will use this one. And these are the details that you will use to access your web panel at SiteGround. So it's very important. And let's say like this, a strong password. Okay. Perfect. Then let's go on here. There is the client information, and these are the information that we will use as a client when we are buying our hosting here on SiteGround. So let's fill all the details. Name, last name, company name if you are buying for your company. In this case, I have a company and I'm buying for my company. And here you can paste your company VAT or tax ID. If you're buying from Europe, it's very important to use your VAT, and you should also be subscribed to VS, and this is great because you will be able not to pay VAT during the transaction and to enable reverse charge. So when I paste here my VAT number, as you can see, there is a validation, and in this case it says that it is okay, great. And I can go on. Type in my city, and then my street address, my zip code, and my phone number. Now we can scroll down to the payment section. Okay, we can pay with our credit card. So I have already saved my credit card here. You can fill your card number, card expiration date, the CVV code, which is very important, otherwise we will not be able to buy, and then the card holder name. If you want here, you can uncheck this field if you need to use a different billing address from the one that you insert in the contact information. In my case, it's the same one, so I leave it, check it, and then I can scroll down to the purchase information. And as you can see, you can switch plan if you want to check the different pricing, for example. Now the grow big, and you can also switch between periods. As you can see, the period of subscription, you can choose also to pay in advance 2 years, and you will also have a discount for the first 2 years, and then you will renew at this price here. And if you choose the 12 months, which is the best deal, you get a huge discount if you choose this one. You will see that this is the renewal price. So be careful that this is the price that you will pay after the first year, which is very important to note. And if you want, you can also see the Go Geek one, and you can see how much you will have to pay. It can be slightly different depending from the country you are buying from. In this case, I used United States dollars, and I'm buying from Europe. And as you can see, you can just make your considerations and choose which kind of deal is the best for you. In this case, I will choose the Grow Big plan, and I will choose to buy for 1 year hosting. And this is very important, the data center part. And here I recommend you to choose the data center, which is the nearest from the place that you plan to receive traffic on your websites. So, for example, if you are in Europe, for example, and you're creating a website in France or in Germany, and you know that the most of the traffic will come from Europe and from Germany and France, you should choose, for example, Europe, the Netherlands, or Spain, Madrid, for example, or Germany, Frankfurt. If you are in the USA and you plan to receive a lot of traffic from California, for example, and from the west side, you can choose this one, and so on. And then if you are in Asia or Australia, you can choose these two ones. Now I plan to receive traffic from all over the world, and I can leave this one, Europe, Netherlands. I will also set up a CDN for my account. We can scroll down, and this option can be very useful because it will allow you to protect your domain privacy, and you will avoid to receive a lot of spam messages into your inbox. So I select it and I leave it like this, knowing that the renewal price will be this one. And this is the price for the first year. Then down here, you can choose to enable a site scanner, which is a scanner that scans your websites every day and informs you each time there is something wrong. In this case, I won't use it because I don't need it. This option, it's important if you plan to grow very quick with your website, for example, and to create a very important and a very visited website. So if you plan to do so, let's click here. Otherwise, you can always do this later on, so it's not important. Down here, you need to confirm that you accept the terms of service and the privacy policy at SiteGround here. Okay. And once you check the checkbox here, you can also choose to receive the SiteGround newsletter, which is great because they often send really interesting resources in order to help you grow your business online. Now we can click on Pay Now. Let's wait for the magic to happen. I have to confirm the purchase here with my bank account. And voila, your account was successfully created. That's great. You can now log into your customer area and start managing your website right away. You will also receive a welcome email with login instruction and account management guidelines within the next 1 hour. If you do not see your welcome email, please contact us via our live chat for assistance. We can now proceed to our customer area. Okay. And here we need to insert our details that we created when we purchased. So in this case, mine were takeatutorial.com. Okay, next. And my password was this one. Okay, I can now log in. I can also choose stay logged in. And this is my panel. Welcome, Pascal. To start using your hosting account, click on the button below to set up your first website. That's great. As you can see here, there's verify your domain. My great website is here. You have recently registered a domain name that may still be pending verification. View domain, manage my domain. This verification, we should make it by email. So let's go back to the home page and let's check all the different email messages we just received. So we have this first email with our sales receipt, and we will see inside all our billing details. Second email, it's very important because you can find inside here all your login information, and you can also find a quick guide on how to set up a website, but it's not important because I will show you step by step. This one is a very important email. If you received it, you need to go inside here, and it says that in order to ensure your domain name remains active, you must now click the following link and follow the instructions provided. So let's click here on Approve Domain Registrant. Okay, in this case, just check that all the informations are okay, and then you can click on Verify Information here. Perfect, contact information verified. So in this case, your domain name is verified, and sometimes it's not necessary, but in this case it was, so I prefer to show you all the process. And you will receive also another email which allows you to control your data sharing, which are linked to your domain name. For example, if I click here, I can simply see all the data that are shared about my domain name. And here, if you do not want to share your domain data, you just need to click on Save Preferences without having to check here. So let's save, perfect. And now we are in control of our data, perfect. Now we can go back to our panel. We saw all the emails that we received, and we are okay. If we reload this page, we can see that our domain is already verified. So in general, this message should disappear in some seconds. Let's click on Refresh Status. And success, the domain has been verified. So if I go back to my home page here, I won't see that message again. Great. The first thing I wanted to show you is how to ask help to your support team at SiteGround. And it's very important and very easy to do so. You can go here on the question mark on the upper right side of the page. You can click on View Help Center. And from here, you'll be free to click on Contact Us. Now, from this page, you can select a category about the question you want to ask. For example, if you have some questions about your domain, you can click here. If you have questions about setting up your email, you can click here. About SSL, you can click here, and so on. Let's click on maybe on this one, for example. And let's click on this one. Let's click on Other. And let's click on Start Chat. Once you click here, you will see this screen where you can describe your inquiry. Just a test for a tutorial. And if you click on Continue, you will see that this chat will start right away, and you will have a support team member that will answer to you very, very quickly. So let's see how many seconds on a Grow Big plan they're taking in order to take your question. Okay. It's quite a long time. If you are on a Go Geek plan, they will immediately answer to you. But here, as you can see, that was not so so long. That's great. So you saw how easy it is to ask help using the SiteGround chat. It's great. Perfect. You can also submit a review and so on. Sometimes it depends from the country you are in. You can also choose between chat and the phone call. So you saw how easy it is to start a new chat with SiteGround support team and to ask any question about your account. And after that, if you want to see your support history, you can click here and you can see all the chats and emails that you have exchanged with the support team. Now let's go back to our homepage, and now we can set up our first site. From here you can click Set Up Site, or you can go directly on Websites and you can click on Finish Setup under your website. In this case, we will just go from the homepage and click on Set Up Site. Perfect. And we can choose, in this case, our existing domain because it's the domain that we bought during the purchase process before. Let's click on Continue. Okay, and from this page, we can already click on Skip and Create Empty Site. In this way, I'll show you step by step how you can deal with the installation of WordPress without having to use this wizard. So let's click on Skip and Create Empty Site. Let's go down and click on Finish. Okay, and voila! Our website is ready. So if we go and visit it, now it's empty. As you can see here, there's no website, there's nothing. And in order to install WordPress and to make your website ready to get started, we can click on Site Tools. Okay. The site tools are gorgeous and very easy to use. As you can see from here, you can install WordPress, you can create some email accounts, you can manage your website files, and so on. Let's go and click on WordPress. And we need now to install and manage our WordPress. So let's select WordPress. We can click here on domain. So let's be sure to choose the right domain. And we can select the language in which we want to install WordPress. Keep in mind that you can also switch it later on if you want. Here we can choose if you want to install WordPress directly on your website. So in this case, my great website is here.com. Or if you want to install WordPress on a subfolder. For example, if you want to make some tests, you should install on /test, but in this case it's quite an advanced thing, so we can just stay on main folder and leave it like this. Here you have to create some admin info in order to log in to your WordPress website and in order to manage it. So here as a username I put this one, okay, and I create a password. And then I go to email and I use my email. And these are the data that I will use in order to log into my website and to administrate it. Here, let's uncheck the install WordPress starter. Okay, be sure to uncheck this and let's click on install. We will have to wait some seconds here and our WordPress website is actually being created. Your request is being processed. Wow, that was easy, no? Okay, we can click on X here. We can go now to view our site and our site will look something like this, so completely blank, okay? And we can also click on admin panel and this link will directly send us to our WordPress dashboard. So this is our WordPress dashboard. It was very easy, and before diving into the WordPress dashboard and to the WordPress management, you need to go back to your site tools and you need to go to security and to SSL manager. And be sure to see down here your website and to see the status active. Keep in mind that this is a very important and crucial option. So if you don't see it here like status active, if you don't see this, you need to go here to select here and to click on Let's Encrypt and to click on Get and wait for the certificate to be installed. It's very, very important. So in this case, I have already here got this installed in automatically. So great, that's great. And now I can go to HTTPS enforce and check this switch. So I have to turn it on like this. HTTPS enforce. Okay, that was very important. Now, one last thing, we should go down here under speed control. We click on caching. Okay, and we make sure that everything is enabled. Okay, this is enabled. Dynamic cache, we don't need to enable it, it's automatic. And memcached, we need to enable it by clicking on the switch. These settings will provide you with security and with an increased speed loading for your website. So now, if we go back to our account, you can see how easy it is each time you want to go to your websites and to go to your site tools. You just need to go here and click on site tools. and you will be able to manage everything regarding your website from the hosting point of view. Let's do one last thing here before starting with WordPress. I'll show you how to create an email address, a personalized, a customized email address. You should go to email, to accounts, and from here, if you want, you can create one all by yourself. You can just type in, for example, info or your name and last name, and then you can choose a password that you will use to create and to configure this email address. Okay, and then you can click on create. Voila, you just created a customized email address. In my case, is this one, info@mygreatwebsiteishere.com. And if you want to, you can also change your quota, your space dedicated to this email address. Keep in mind that this space it's linked to the space that you have at your disposal in your hosting plan. So let's click on change quota, and you can increase it. Maybe you want just 2,000 megabytes, 2 giga. You can confirm 2 gigabytes, and that will be great because you will be able to store a lot of data into your email address. Now, if you want to set up this email in your email reader on your computer or on your mobile phone, you just need to use this data when you will enter your new email address. It's very easy and intuitive, and you will be able to do that very quickly. Now we are ready to dive into our website. So we can go to WordPress, install and manage. We will see our new installation here. And if you want, you can click on this little link here, login to admin panel, and this will bring you directly to your WordPress dashboard. You will need to log in. Okay, so let's type in our password. Let's log in. And there we are. We can save our password for later on. Okay, this is the WordPress dashboard. Welcome to WordPress. This is your dashboard. From this page, you will be able to manage all the content of your website and also to add some more functionalities and so on. It's kind of the main control center of your website. From here, you can start tidying up things. So you can click on screen options on the upper right side of the screen. And you can unselect everything so that you will have a clean dashboard. As you can see here, you don't need to have all that widgets. Now you can clearly see on your left side you have a lot of different kind of menu items, and the first one we will use is settings, because from here we can go to general and we can add some important settings. We can add a site title, which is very important for SEO, and also because this part will be reflected in some parts of your website too. And here you can add a tagline. This tagline will be also very important from an SEO point of view, so it's important here to use the keywords for which you want to position your website on Google. For example, if I want to position myself for the keyword WordPress tutorial, I need to put it in my tagline because it's a good practice. Down here, under WordPress address URL and under site address URL, you can add a simple S after the HTTP because it's very important for a security point of view. And if you've done correctly all the steps I showed you at the beginning of the video, you can do like this and be confident that everything will run smoothly. You will just need to log in again after you save this page. Here you can choose the administration email address. It's very important to choose an address that you will be able to access easily because it's an address that it will be used for security reasons and also for sending you notifications about important things about your website. So be careful to use a good email address there. Here you can set up the language that will be used on the website, on the back end of the website. Here you can set your time zone. It's very important here to set your correct time zone, which is linked to the country you are in. So for example, I am in Paris and I choose Paris. If you are in Italy, you can choose Rome. If you are in United States, you can choose New York or Los Angeles. You can just choose your country and your time zone, of course. Down here, you can choose the date format and the time format. They are really important because they will be used also for plugins and functionalities. For example, if you will have a blog later on, all dates will be displayed like this, and time will be displayed in this time format. So choose the one you prefer, and then you can save changes. Okay, so these were the most important things to do under settings and under the general tab. Now, if you want, you can go under reading. And if you want to hide your website from Google and other searching engines, you can click on this checkbox. You can check this box here. And this is a really delicate option because it will send to Google, for example, and other searching engines the message that your website doesn't want to be indexed. So it's very important to come back here once you've done with your website and uncheck this. Otherwise, you will have troubles by getting recognized by Google and so on. So use this carefully, and if you want to enable it, just keep in mind that you have to come back here and uncheck this box once you're ready to go online live with your website. Otherwise, you can just leave it unchecked and it's okay. In this case, I will check it. Then we can go on and click on permalinks. Be sure here to select post name and then save. Okay. And then you can go on privacy. Here, it's very important to know that you can create a privacy policy page. This is a very important page because it's a key page to show people how you will manage data of people coming to your website. Generally speaking, you have a kind of a policy guide here, which is very well done and created by WordPress. And here, if you click on this privacy policy guide, you will have some guidelines. So you will have some different kind of titles, which will be the main parts that you will have to include in a good privacy policy document. And if you want, you can also go down here, and there are some suggestions about content, you see. So it's very important to go through this if you want, and just be sure that you know what these things are about. So privacy policy, and if you want to create a page, a basic privacy policy page, you can do it by following all these guidelines. So it's a great resource, and I wanted to mention to you because it's a key point if you want to make your website compliant. Now you have to go to users, or you can also go up here and click on edit profile, but you can go also on users, as I was saying, all users, and you will see your user here. You can click on it and you can add your first name and last name. This is an advice I give you if you want to add a blog later on, or in general, it's good practice to insert your first and last name here. Then you can choose how your name will be displayed on your website. In this case, I choose name and last name. You can choose an email connected to your account, which is the email that you use to log into your website, so it's very important. You can choose a website connected to your user, and if you want, you can add some biographical info. This is a key part of the website. Most of all if you are running a blog. So if you want to add a blog later on and you want to add some posts to your website, it's good practice also to add some biographical info to talk about yourself and to just introduce yourself to readers. Then here you can set a new password if you want, and if you want to connect an image to your profile, you can do so by using Gravatar. Gravatar is a free service. If you subscribe here, creating a WordPress.com account, you can link an image to your email address, and be sure that all the applications that supports Gravatar all over the world will just pull up your image once you're connected with your email. So it's very easy to use, and as you can see here, an image will show up once you connected on Gravatar. You can click on update profile here, and that's it. So we just updated our profile. If you want, you can also change some, some aesthetic colors here, but this will be applied only on the back end of your website. So just have fun with these colors and choose the one you prefer. I prefer the default one, and I leave it like this. Now click on themes or appearance themes here on the left side, and then click on the themes that you don't use. For example, now we don't use the 2021 theme, and we can delete it. This is also a good practice, so you will have a clean installation. You can go now to pages here on all pages, and you can just delete these pages. If you want, you can just keep the privacy policy page, because as I was mentioning before, it's an important page that you can create in order to show off how your users' data will be treated. You can so trash this sample page, and you can go to trash and you can empty trash. Perfect. Now you can go to posts, and you can do the same thing basically. So you trash the hello world post, you can go to trash and empty your trash. So now if you go to your dashboard, we have a clean installation of WordPress, and we are ready to start with our tutorial. These two plugins we see here, SG Optimizer and SG Security, we just leave them like this. Now, if you want to see your website from the outside, let's say like this, you can click on the upper left side of the site to your site name, for example, or you can go here to visit site, is the same thing. And once you click here, you will see the website from the front end, so from the external point of view. And this is what people will see if they type in the name of your domain, for example. And of course, they will not see your admin bar. This black bar here will not be visible. So if you log out completely and if you click on go to your website here, you will see actually your website, how it's shown to people from the outside. If you want to log back in, you just need to type WP admin after your website domain, and then you click on enter, and you will be able to see this screen and to log into your website. That's perfect. So we saw how it's easy to switch between the front end here, and if you click again here on dashboard, you will go back to your website's dashboard. Now let's begin with the interesting stuff. So let's go to appearance, themes, and we can transform this page that we are seeing when we visit our site. We will transform this page in a beautiful website like this one, for example. So let's go on and go to appearance, themes, and from here click on add new. Okay, now we can search themes and we can type in Blocksy. Blocksy is a beautiful theme and you will love it. Click on activate. Now we can see our theme is installed, and you will see this page, and then we can go back to themes and you will see this message. Thanks for installing Blocksy, you rock. Let's click on install Blocksy Companion, which is a plugin that adds some functionalities to your theme. It will allow you also to have some good starter sites. So when you click on Blocksy and when you click on starter sites now, after installing the Blocksy Companion, you will see these beautiful designed websites, which are all completely free, and they will work perfectly once you click on the import button. But now let's choose one. As you can see, there are many of them, and I will choose this one, this renovation site. If you want, you can click on preview and you can see it. As you can see, it's a simple one. It's a starter site with my home page, my service page, my about page, my blog page, my contact page, and that's it. I can go back to the home page here and I can just visit it. As you can see, it's a great design page, and I will be able to change everything, colors, fonts, and content, of course. And here we can also see that there is a blog. I will show you quickly how to create a blog by the end of this video. It's very easy using Blocksy and WordPress. We will start from this design and we will land on this beautiful design. I will show you how to customize everything, colors and of course graphics, pictures, photos, and fonts. If you want, you can be able to customize everything in this page. As you can see, it's very different from the design that we were starting from here, and everything is customized and looks gorgeous. Wow, I love this website. So as you can see here, we can just start by importing this demo. So let's go back to Blocksy and starter sites. Let's click on import under the renovation demo. Let's click on install child theme. It's good practice to do so. Let's click on next. Gutenberg is one of my favorite tools together with Elementor to create your pages. It's the tool that we will use in order to be able to create the content, so to add some images, text, and titles, and so on to all your website pages. And of course, we will also need to click on next. So let's choose Gutenberg. Let's click on next. And we will also need to install some other plugins, which are Stackable, WPForms, and Blockslider. These are all free plugins that will allow you to create great content and to have some good functionalities on your website. Let's click on next. I will show you how to use all these plugins. And let's click on install. Wow. Now, in a few seconds, we will have a beautiful website ready to be customized. Let's wait for the magic to happen. Now you will see this message: starter site imported successfully. Great! Now you can click on view site and you can see your beautiful website ready to be customized. Wow, it's great. So let's check all the homepage. That works perfectly. We have a beautiful homepage. We will be able to customize everything, as you can see here. And we have also a beautiful service page. In this page, you will be able to showcase your services. So you can just, for example, feature your best service, or you can show your way of of working, for example, with all your steps. And then we can add a video, for example, that will be shown here. It's very important to add some great videos to our websites. And then you can just customize everything, as you can see here. The About page also, it's very important and will be a key page. I'll show you how to customize this page, for example, by creating this beautiful design, by personalizing what we see in the demo website, as you can see here. And in order to do so, we will need to start by customizing our website. So we need to clean up a little bit. So let's go back on into the dashboard here. Now from this page, let's click on Screen Options and hide WPForms. We don't need it now. Let's click on Complete Stackable Gutenberg Blocks Activation, and let's click on Skip. Okay, and let's do the same thing with block slider activation now. So we click on Skip. Great. We can click again on the dashboard and we are ready to start. So let's go on Media now. If you want, you can click on Library, and there is a thing you can do if you want to start completely from a clean point of view, and by letting you use only the design of your website without the images. If you want to do so, you can just go on the Media Library, so Media Library, and you can click on Bulk Select. Now you can click the first one and you can scroll down. Okay, you go to the last one, and while you are pressing the Shift button of your keyboard, you click on the last picture. As you can see, you will get all the pictures selected, and you can click on Delete Permanently. Click on OK. By doing like this, you will have a clean and perfect design without any pictures annoying you. So let's go and visit the website again. If for some reasons you still see images once you land on your website, even after having them delete them from your library, you can go and search for a Clear Cache extension on the Chrome Web Store. I strongly encourage you to use Chrome browser to create your website, and you can add this extension to your browser. And here on the extension, once you go to the page and you click on this extension, as you can see, all the images will just disappear because everything will be refreshed and will correctly reflect what is inside your website. Now it's time to choose colors. It's a beautiful moment about creating a new website, because when you choose the right colors, you will be able to communicate the right message to your visitors. So let's begin testing. We can click on Customize here, where you can see this pencil. And once you click here, you will be able to see some different kind of options on the left side of the page. You can click on Colors in this case, and you can choose a global color palette. You can go here, and as you can see, there are about 15 palettes already there for you in order to test out some different colors. So if you choose the first one, you can see that every kind of color it's applied to all the parts of your website. There will be maybe something escaping to this. As you can see, for example, here we have some icons that are still in the old color, but that's not important. We will be able to update this color later on. It's not important. And we can choose and test some different color combinations. This one, it's gorgeous. And then we can choose this one if we want, and you can go on. The interesting thing is that you can choose your own palette if you want, simply by selecting one of these, and then by changing the colors. For example, if I go to colors.co, okay, this is a very interesting website in order to explore some different kind of palettes. And for example, you can just click on Explore here. And once you're inside here, you will be able to see a lot of different kind of palettes that will be a great inspiration for your website. For example, I can pick one of them, and I can see some colors that I like. For example, this one, I will choose this color. As you can see, just by clicking on it, I'm copying it to my clipboard. I can go back here, click here on the primary accent color. Okay, I select only the part after this symbol. I paste it, and as you can see, my color has been pasted to my website. I can go here to the secondary color, maybe this one. And I can say to my customizer that I want it to be my secondary color. So I paste it inside here, and that's it. So I've created my color palette. If I want to edit a palette, I can click on the three dots, and I can click on Open in the Generator. That will be great because we will have the opportunity to mix palettes to find out new colors and so on. For example, here I love this green. I click on it, copy, okay, copy icon. I can go back here and insert this secondary color. Okay, wow. I love this secondary color and I'm ready to publish my website. Okay, and you see it's very easy to take advantage of this global color palette in order to update all colors all through your website. I click again on publish now, I go back and I can do the same exact thing about typography. So I can change fonts and see how fonts behave in my website simply by clicking here and by changing base font. So I can use Poppins, for example. Poppins is a great font. This message simply tells you that in some countries in the world, Google Fonts are not admitted if you use them as an external resources. So if you want to, to be compliant with law in all over the world, you can use this plugin, which is a free plugin that allows you to upload Google Fonts on your website directly without having to go through Google to upload them. So how can you do this? It's very, very easy. So let's click on I understand, don't show this notification again. And let's click on continue. As you saw before, there was this message telling me that I need to upload my fonts locally if I want to be compliant with all the countries of the world. So it's very easy. It's really, really easy. So I can click on the X on the X here. I can escape. Okay. If I don't see the right font here, I can click on my icon to remove caching. Okay, now it seems to be the right one. Perfect. I can click now on my dashboard and I can go to plugins and click on add new. From here I can type local Google Fonts. There is this plugin, which is a free plugin, which is used already by 80,000 people, and it has a lot of good reviews, and it's regularly updated, and it's compatible with our WordPress version. So it's great. This is the best one, local Google Fonts. Once you click on install and activate, you will be able to see all the options about this plugin here on settings and on Google Fonts. And simply you need to click load fonts automatically. Click on save changes. And now when you go and visit your website and you click on different pages, all these fonts are no more loaded from Google, but they are hosted directly on your website. And this option lets you be compliant with all different countries from all over the world. Now, if you click back on the dashboard and you go back to settings and you click on Google Fonts, you will see directly that all the different Google fonts are listed here, in this case WorkSans, and it's not loaded by Google, but it's loaded directly on my website, which at the moment is create.takeatutorial.com. I click on save changes and I'm ready to go on. So now you saw how easy it is to change colors and fonts on your website. You will be able now to choose between any font you want because you had installed this plugin. And so now when you go back to typography, for example, and you choose another Google font, for example, Poppins, or, okay, that's great. Or if you go back to Lexand, which I love this font, Lexand, okay, this is the one. You can simply publish and you will be able to host this font locally. Okay, so now our website looks like this, something like this, and we need to customize it in order to be able to create something like this, for example. So let's go here, let's click on edit page, and now this is the back end of the pages. Each page has this structure, which you can see here. Once you go with your mouse, with your pointer over different kind of content here, you will be able to select everything and to customize everything. For example, if you want to change this text, this title here, you can say making your vision become a reality. I can say making your website become a reality, a beautiful reality, I will say also. And here, contact us, we can say our services, for example, no? And on the right side of the page, we will add a beautiful image, like this one, for example. That's me. Let's click on the plus icon here and let's type in image, for example. As you can see here, there are different kind of elements that will allow you to insert some image. In this case, we will always use during this tutorial these elements with a gradient color. So in this case, I click on my image color, my image element. And by clicking again on the image placeholder, I will be able to upload here a custom image. I can click on select files and I can upload my image from my computer. For example, here I have an image with a transparent background that I made with Canva. I love Canva personally. and I recommend you to use it because it's very easy to, as you can see here, I removed my background with one click, simply one click, and you have no background in a picture. That's great. Now that I have inserted my image, I will be able to click on my column here, select column, and I will go to background and I will remove my background here. Okay, that's perfect. I click again on my image, perfect. Once I clicked on my image, I can go on style and I can scroll down and I can search for my border radius option. Here I can select 1000, okay? And so you can see the image begins to be rounded. And I can also go back here to block styles, and I will need to go on background. I will enable one background, okay? And I go back down here, I click on border shadows, and I select border radius and I type in 1000. Okay, that's perfect, great. If I want, I can also make a border visible, so I click on solid here, and I can say that this border needs to be 25, and I can also choose a different color, for example, this one. As you can see here, the effect, it's a design effect that makes gorgeous this round image. So I can use the same one here. If I want to preview all my settings here, I can click on update my page, and I can go on preview, and I can go and click on preview in new tab. Okay, wow, that's looking already gorgeous. But if I want, I can also make this picture look a little bit more smaller. As you can see, this is a bit different. They are both great, but we need to set up a great picture now. So let's go back here, and we can choose to drag this column and to let it be more, a little bit smaller, as you can see here. I click on update. I click again on preview in new tab. Okay, and that's great. Wow, I love this builder. I love WordPress and Gutenberg and Blocksy and Stackable. As you can see, there is a little detail here. So the image, it's not correctly aligned to the border. How we can correct this? It's very easy. We can go back there to our image, and we can go to the block settings. We can go on size and spacing, and we can type in under paddings. We can type in a 0. Okay, that's perfect. We can click on update, and each time we want to preview our content, we can click on preview in new tab. Now the image is perfectly aligned. Okay. If you want now, you can also make this picture look a little bit more smaller if you want. You can go back here and you can click on your image. But this time we will click on our column. Okay. And in the column, you can go on size and spacing, and you can choose to add some paddings. In this case, we will add some 40 paddings. We can click on update. And it's very important now to click on tablet mode to see if the image looks great also on tablet mode. Okay. On alignment. Okay. We can go back on our column here. Great. And we can see also in phone mode, mobile. I think it's perfect. So it's exactly what I needed. And I leave my image like this. I can click on preview. I go back to desktop preview. Okay, I update my page. And now if I click on preview, I'm seeing my page with all my updates. Wow, great. Now we can go on customizing this home page that will become your custom home page. So here I strongly recommend you to use a strong text that will be great to offer the description of your services to your visitors. So here you can also choose to link this button to a custom page. For example, if I click on the button, I can see here to the right side of the page, I have a link section. And if I type some pages here, for example, my services page, I can directly link to my services page, as you can see. So I select this page. I can choose if I want this page to open in a new tab of my browser. Okay, so now if you have some questions, you can just type in the comment section below, and I will be very happy to help you. And we can simply go on and see how easy it is to customize everything. You can select any object here, and on the right side you can see you have your block options, your styling options, and your advanced options. Let's begin by using the simplest of these three options, which is the style option. And here, once you select style, you will be able to change content and most of all change colors and fonts and dimensions and so on. So for example here, let's say that we want another kind of icon. You can upload your SVG icon if you want, or you can just clear the icon, or you can just upload a new one, or you can choose a one from these thousand of icons that are at your disposal here. So for example, I type in Google and I see there are some icons that are representing Google. For example, I type in WordPress and I see all the icons representing WordPress. In my case, I want to show WordPress logo here. So I do like this. I can change my icon color, and keep in mind that these colors will update automatically if you need to change them later on. So that's great. So I'll choose my third global color, this one. And I want my icon to be bigger. So I do like this. Perfect. Once I found my perfect dimension, I leave it like this. If I want, I can already preview on tablet mode, for example. And if something like this happens, it's normal. Sometimes that happens. You just will need to update your page and to reload it. It's very easy to get rid of this error. Okay. Let's hope it will behave correctly. Okay, we go on preview tablet mode. Okay, and now it looks perfectly. Okay, as you can see, our icon here, it's a little bit smaller on tablet mode, so we can go and make it look bigger, maybe 30. Okay, and we can do the same on mobile. On mobile mode, we can also make it bigger, maybe 50. Perfect. So when we update now, our icon will look different on different devices. So on tablet, it's like this. And now on desktop mode, it's like this. Great, that's gorgeous. Now we have a video here on the right side of the page. If you want, you can link this button to a video, and I'll show you now in a moment how to do so. But before, you have to set up a thumbnail for this video. So you can click on this image, on the preview image here. Okay. And if you want, you can upload a file just to show your image, your video thumbnail. I choose my file and I click on select. Okay. In this case, I have a vertical image, and if I want to change the dimensions of my image, I can go down here to height here, and I can say that I want my height to be 200 pixels, for example. Even here, I can check always in tablet mode and also in mobile mode. Sometimes your styling will become weird, but don't worry, because it's only a temporary thing, and it will disappear next time you click on different stuff. Okay, as you can see here, it already came back normal. And you can also position your image differently. So if you click again on the desktop now, okay, you have to keep in mind that all the adjustments that you make on desktops will be reflected then on different kind of devices. And then if you want, you can of course change all your settings for tablet mode and for phone mode, as you saw. Now, as you can see here, I can replace my image in order to be centered where I want it to be. Now I need it to be here so that my laptop is more visible. I click on update now, and last thing I want to do is to link this button to a video. So I can change the icon color, for example. I can leave it white, but I'll change the background color of my icon. For example, background shape. Okay, no shape. Icon shape, background color. I can choose this color or this color, for example, and I can link this to a video. If I go back to my image, okay, I will see that down into the block settings or down into the style settings. No, there's nothing. So let's click on, oh, here, okay, select video pop-up. Okay, great. We can click here on upload video, and we can upload a custom video directly from our computer, but this is not a good practice. You can just select a custom video and paste your URL from YouTube or from Vimeo. If you need to set up a WordPress donation plugin, there is a great tutorial on Take a Tutorial channel on YouTube. We go back here, we paste this URL here, and we are ready to update our page, and we can test this video directly on the front end of our website. So once we click here, In this video, I will show you how... Great, my tutorial will start. So my advice here is to select a video that will be helpful for people landing on your website to understand well your services and your offer. So that's great. You see, we had already built a great custom hero section here, and we are learning how to use all these kind of blocks and custom pop-ups and stuff like this. As you can see here, it's all very intuitive and easy to manage. But if you still have some questions, feel free to type in the comment section below. Okay, if you want here, you can also make this round, and I love to do things that I like also from an aesthetic point of view. If I want to make it round, I can go on style here. I can go on icon shape. I can scroll down here. I can choose a shape border radius. For example, I can put it on 100. And if I want, I can also have a shape outline width. So I can do like this, and I can place my favorite color, this one. As you can see, we can really play with all the options here and obtain our best design. We can update now, and we will have a gorgeous design. Great. Now if I preview my page, I will see everything changing. And as you can see, even as the smallest detail, like this round icon instead of the square one, it changes everything on your website, because it's kind of linked to my round images here. You have a round icon that talks to the round image, and all this kind of stuff helps the eye to feel comfortable, to feel the harmony of my page. So you have a lot of square stuff like this kind of how do you say this kind of shape, and you have the buttons which are all squared, but you also have some round stuff. So you have round stuff here, the image, you have round stuff here, and if we want, we can also add some more rounded stuff all over our homepage. This is a simple web design advice, and it will help you to create more harmonious page and more beautiful pages. Sometimes you will see some elements that are not correctly loading colors. For example, this color, it's a little bit different from the orange I've chosen, and it's the orange of the first starter site I installed. So I click on Edit Page in this case, and each time there is a color that it's not behaving well globally, I'll just need to go to the element, click on the element, and assign a color of my theme. For example, here I want all these icons to be green. I click on the green color by clicking on all the icons like this. And once I update my page, I will be sure that these colors will update correctly when I use my global colors. For example, if I go to Customize now, and if I need to change all my color palette, I go to Colors. I scroll down here to my icons, and I can see that if I change my color palette, all my icons are correctly upgrading their colors. Now I will go back to my palette, the first one, and everything is changing perfectly. Let's publish, and now let's finish to customize our homepage. I will also give you some good advices to create a good and effective homepage. So let's go to Edit Page here. If you want to preview, not by clicking on Preview and Preview New Tab, you can also click on these Close Settings, and you can see the page more similar to the way it will be seen by your visitors in this way. Okay, and now we can just scroll down here. So we learned also how to link our button. For example, we went here and we go to link, and we simply choose a page of our website, or we can also paste a link from an external website if we need. In this case, we typed in our services, for example, and I can go down here. This is the second section of my website. I can use it in order to show some good content about my work and about my services, for example. And here I can change all my icons. I can clear the icon if I don't want to show them. I can select a different kind of icon, or I can only upload an SVG icon, a custom icon. For example, I can type in my custom WordPress logo here. I can choose here to have a plugin logo. This one. I can choose here to have a different logo, for example. No, this is actually it's a great thing. Or I can say pencil, for example. Okay, this one. Okay, and then here I can change my icon. For example, I can choose my color icon like this one. Okay. As you can see, everything is very intuitive, and you can change all the texts by selecting them and by typing in what you want. So be happy, don't worry, be happy, for example. You can update then once you're ready with your customizations. You can change here. If you want to change a background color, you simply click on the background here and you go under block. You select your background, you can remove it if you don't want it, or if you want a background, you can choose a global color. Be careful here. I always recommend you to use global colors, because these colors will upgrade once you decide to change them. So it's very easy if you use them. So don't go here and don't mess up with different kind of weird colors, because otherwise all the custom global colors would not work when you decide to upgrade them. So use always these colors that are here. If you need to change the color of the text, you click on the text, you go on typography, style typography, then you go down here on text color and you can change everything. Same here, text color, and you can change everything. As you can see, everything is very intuitive. And then down here you have a slider. We will show in a moment how it works. You can change this title by saying my latest works. Okay, not worked, but works. Okay. And you can go down here, you can use this space to showcase a testimonial. This is very important. Social proof, it's important when we talk about websites on the web. And here you can add an image of your testimonial. For example, we can just upload a simple image here. You can select files. Normally when I search for gorgeous images, I use always Unsplash website. It's great. But in your case, of course, you will need to upload your real testimonial image. So let's go back here and select files. I recommend you to use a square picture, because it's easier to make it round afterwards. So let's select this picture, for example. Okay, and as you can see here, there is already an option that makes this picture look rounded. So it's great, it's perfect. If you need to change the styling here, you can always go to styling tab and you can adjust everything as you want. And now we can change the name, we can change anything as you saw. So it's very easy and simple to do. Here we can link all these different buttons to a page. In this case, it's important maybe to link to the About page, because it's a page where you can showcase your principles, your vision of life, and also your business, of course. So here we can type in About and we can link with our About page. After this, we will see how to manage different pages and how to add new pages, how to deal with that. But now it's not the moment. So here we can choose an image. Okay, we can use this image, always the same one. Because we have it, I don't want to search for different images, and it's okay, because if you are showcasing your personal website, for example, or if you are the person that are providing all the services on your website, it's good for people to see you, see your face, to know you by images, by seeing your images. Here, as always, I put my border radius to 1000 in this case, and I decide also to have the same styling of this image over here. So I will do the same thing. But with a different kind of background color. So I will go to my image. I will go to my block in this case. I will go to background, great. And I will say to my block to be with a border. So I will add a border. I will make it 25. And I will say to the computer, to my block to be rounded with 1000 border radius. Okay. Now, if I want to erase this, delete this space between the border radius and the image, the actual image, I just need to go back to size and spacing, and I just need to go here and type in 0. Wow, that's great. Update. I love this design. If I want here, I can also change the background color, as I was mentioning before, and I can update all the design. I can always click on preview to see what I'm doing. And now if I scroll down on my website, everything looks gorgeous. I will show you later on how to customize the slider. We will have this beautiful testimonial here, and I will have a beautiful section with my image and with different kind of buttons here. And if I click on this button that I updated, I will be landed on my About page. Okay, so we can go on like this, and we can continue by finishing this page by clicking on Edit Page. or going back to the page that was already open here. And while we scroll down here, we can add a different kind of image, because this time we will add a background image. So we will go to block, to background, and we can choose a background color if you want, but of course you will need to choose an image. So we can click on preview here, or just click on this icon to reset the block, and we can click on the background image or video. Once we click here, we will be free to select a custom image. In this case, I will choose an image from Unsplash, and if I'm someone providing services about websites, I can type in website, for example, and I can choose an image like this one. I can download it. I can go to tiny PNG as always. This website helps you decrease the dimension of all your or your images. For example, here 2 megabytes, it's too much, it's way too much, and you need to compress your image and to make it more smaller, more light, most of all. And this passage is very important because it will allow your website to load faster. So if it's under 1 megabyte, it's perfect. So let's click on download here, and let's go back to our website, and let's upload our image. You can upload it by dragging it. And my advice is also to change the name of the image. If you show it in the Finder, for example, you go here and you put all your words, so words that will describe your image, websites. And if you are, for example, a website agency, you can type in website agency in New York, for example, New York, and then type in the name of your brand. Take a tutorial, for example. No, so this is an example on how you can rename images for SEO. So this practice, it's perfect if you want to be found on Google and if you want to make a great business and a great website. So we will erase the image that was not renamed. So we'll click on delete permanently, okay. And then in the image we already uploaded, we just uploaded, as you can see here, the name is perfect. And also here, the title, it's great. And we can also add an alt text that will describe our picture if we want, like this. And here, if you want to be correct, you need to describe the content of the image, because this text lets people with accessibility needs to learn and to understand what is the content, the actual content of the image. Same thing about description if you want. So select, okay, and as you can see, that's a gorgeous image that is showcasing our service. So you can update all the titles here, and as you can see here, there are just great titles, because you can use the suggestions here in order to put inside your business keywords. For example, perfection is in every step we take. If you are alone by providing services, and instead of perfection, you can say passion, for example. No, passion. And be careful, because each thing you put into your website will speak to people, will say to people who you are, who your business is, what kind of business you are running, and what to expect from you and your business. So it's very important to be careful to titles, to copywriting, to all the texts you will add to your website, and to the images, to the colors, to the fonts. Everything will speak to the public, to the visitors. Here you can change these numbers. That's interesting, because you can say, I don't know, 500 tutorials uploaded. For example, no, here you can say 450,000 happy customers, or here you can say 25,000 projects completed, for example, and so on. You can play around with numbers. Here, it's a great section in order to showcase logos or even pictures of your clients, for example. So if you click on the image, placeholder image, you can upload a custom logo here. So for the example now, we can upload different kind of logos. I love this website, which is called Logo Ipsum, which is also a great logo inspiration website, I think. So here we can download this one. And if we go back to our website, let's hope our SVG image will work. I think so. I select this image, and as you can see, the image is there. If I want, I can copy it by clicking on the on the three dots here and click on copy block, and I can just click on the three dots here and say paste block. There's no pasting block link. Okay, great. I can simply do like this. I can click on Control C or Command C on my keyboard. I click on the image and I click on the Command V or Command or Control V, and as you can see, I have my logo copy pasted. Okay, in this case I want to do like this because I need to go quicker. And if you want, you can also make these logos in black and white. Here I can go backwards if I want by clicking on the arrow here. Okay, and once I click on the image here, I can select the image filters. If I want to do like this, I will need to go to style, and then by scrolling down, I will see there is an option here which is called image filter. It's the last one. I click on edit, I click on grayscale, and I select 1. As you can see, the logo now it's black and white. That's great. I love this kind of option, and to showcase logos of our clients is perfect, because in this way we don't make the attention of people fly away by watching the colors of different logos, but you can at the same time you can showcase your clients, your best clients. So you can click on style, image filter here, and grayscale 1. Same thing here, style, image filter, grayscale 1. And so on. If you need to erase some of these columns, for example, let's say that you need only 4 of these logos, you will need to click on the last one, on the last column here, and you can simply click on the select column icon, and now you can go here and you can remove column. If you need to switch the position of columns, as you can see, it's very easy and intuitive. And now this is the last one. We need to apply the image filter grayscale. Okay, that's great. So let's update. You need to update always because you need to save all your work. Now your contact form here, it's in need of an image on the right side here, background image. Let's choose one. Let's choose this one, for example. Okay, if you don't see it, there's something, okay, because you didn't enable background. And when we enable the background here, you can see that the image has appeared. And down here, if you go to the background image settings, you can also choose the different positions of the image. For example, image position, you can go here and you can say top center, for example. And as you can see, it's more visible. Okay, update. Now we have the last section, which is a call to action. Okay, and we can just add a great picture here. we can use the same one that we used on the main part of the homepage. So my face in this case, okay. And then we can go here and make the same kind of adjustments. So we can choose to have a border radius about 1000, to make a block, to enable background, and here size and spacing we choose 0 padding. Okay, and then we go to border shadows. We make the border solid. We can keep it 25. Then we can go here. We can go like this, and we can make the border radius here 1000. Okay, 1000. 1000. Okay, perfect. Wow, great. Update. Learn more. This button you can link it to the, for example, to the services page. So let's type in services. Okay, this one, update. Perfect. So let's see the page now, and if you want to have the right perception of your visitors, you can also click on logout, and you can see the page by clicking on go to your website in this case. Okay, wow, beautiful work. Let's take the time to appreciate our work. So we can see we had a beautiful and stunning entry of the website, hero section. Here we can click and we can watch our intro video. Here we have a kind of synthetic point of view on our work, for example. Here we have a slider that we will learn how to customize now. And we have a testimonial. We have a great section showcasing our vision of the business, for example. Here you have some numbers about our business, and here we have our clients' logos. We have a contact us section with people that this content form, we will learn how to use it later on during the video. And then we have a beautiful call to action that will land us to our services page. And then we have footer. Okay, that's great. So now I think we are ready to customize the slider, and then we will learn how to customize our header here, our navigation, and we will learn how to add a logo, for example, and we can also learn later on how to customize our footer. And then by the end of the video, we will learn how to customize our contact page and our contact form in order to be able to receive notifications each time someone is asking something to us about our business, of course. Okay, great. So during this part of the tutorial, we went from this design, we take some steps to go here, and then we went here. That's great. As you can see, we customized a lot of stuff, and that's great, great, great. From this design to this design. Wow. Okay, now we are ready to customize this slider. And as you can see, you have a slider which is already pre-filled here with some slides. And because we erased them, we delete all the pictures, we don't see anything. From the dashboard of our website, we see there is an item called block slider. We can click on it, and we can see that if you click on all sliders, there is already one slider created. It's called our works, and we can click on it and we can simply customize everything. As always, here on the right side, if we click on slider, we can change the URL, and we can say, for example, we want to call it latest works. Okay, with one error. And then we can change the title. If we click on slider here, we can change the title and say latest, not later, latest works. Great. Now we can change all the images. We can click on each image, and then on the media files here, we can upload the image that we want to use. Select, for example, and it's important here to choose some images that are correctly sized. As you can see here, they will be automatically cropped. For example, if I go here, if I select block here on the right side of the options here, block of the settings, I can see that in style there's an option already set up which says that each slide need to be 400 pixels high. Okay, so this option is very important because it allows me to keep the same height for all the slides. So if I need to replace the image, for example, like this, as you can see, it's very easy to replace to a centered image as we want it. So if we click on number 2 here, we can see that there are some other slides. I can choose to delete some slide if I want, or I can choose to add some more slides by clicking on add a slide. And in this case, I click on here, and I can click on this image, I can click on this one, I can click on another image, and so on. I can click on the third slide now. I can select some images here too, maybe this one, and then this one. Okay, and so on. It's important to choose the right images, of course. Now I'm just messing around. And for example, the third one, if I don't want this slide to be there, I can simply remove block slide, for example. Okay, as you can see, I've deleted the number 3, and I just have the first one and the second one. For me, it's okay. If I want to add some more slides, I can click on add slide. And as you can see here, I can add some slide content. For example, in this slide, if I like this content, I can duplicate this slide, and it will add me a new slide, which will be pre-filled with the same content, and I will be able to select different images and different content. So it's very easy. Now I will delete this slide, so I will click on the third one, and I will delete it, remove block slide, and also the third one again here, which is empty. I can just show you how I can insert some content, my custom content, for example. I can add whatever I want to each slide, custom content. For example, if I want one slide to have one single element, I can go back like this, and I can just add an image, a single image this time. I click on image, I select my image, maybe this one, And as you can see here, there's a beautiful one slide. That's great. If I want, I can make the same height like this, same height or height, height, it's better, I think. Custom content, perfect. Okay. So I can save and update my slider. And now when I go to the home page where the slider is, okay, I can view the slider. If I want to paste and copy and paste this slider in another page different from the home page, I can copy my shortcode and I can insert this slider in whatever page I want. I'll show you in a moment how to do like this. Now let's visit my home page. Let's click on the website title here. If I scroll down, I will see my slider with beautiful pictures, and the third one will be a single one. As you can see here, there's my custom content with my single slide. That's great. It's a great plugin, this one. As you can see, it's very easy to showcase my pictures, my works. And if you want to link a picture to a page or a portfolio page, for example, or simply to the services page, you need to go back to the slider. You go block slider here. You go to all sliders. You go back to your latest works slider. And from here, you can simply customize each and every image. So you can click here on the first one, and you can go to style. Down here you can see link, and here you can choose, for example, services. Okay, and you can link this image to your services page. If you want to link this image to another page, you can do like this. You can link to the about page, for example, and so on. So I let you also play around with the different options here, because you can achieve different kind of designs if you want. And one last thing, it's very, very nice and playful and joyful to play around with borders. I love it, as you understand it from the video, I think. And for example, here I can choose to have a border radius to 10, for example, or 20 for each slide, and it will change completely my perception of this slider. If I put 20 in each slide, I'll show you the difference between the two. If I save and I view my slider, for example, as you can see here, the first slide it's with border radius of 20 pixel, and the second one it's not. It's a completely different approach. And if I copy my shortcode now, I go back to my website, I can see the slider on the home page, but if I want to add the same slider maybe to the about page, I can do it by clicking on the about page, clicking on edit page, and I simply need to paste my shortcode inside here. For example, if I want to showcase my slider inside here, I will need to go here. I will click on the plus button, type in shortcode, and I will copy and paste inside here my shortcode. This shortcode, you can also find it in this page. I'll show you in a moment. You go to block slider to all sliders, and you will see this shortcode here. This is the code that will output your slider. So let's go back here. Let's update this page. If I open this page and I preview this page in a new tab here, I will see my slider in this page. Wow, great. It's awesome. And as you can see, design changes completely if you choose to have a border radius of 20 in this case, or if you leave the border radius squared like this. We can go on now, and we have to take the complete control and customization of our navigation bar with our logo. We will learn how to add it here, and then we will need to create to take control and advances of all the options to deal with menus and so on and all stuff like this. And then we will also look down into the footer. So let's start now with our navigation header. Now I will show you how to upload your custom logo here on the upper left side of the page. I will show you also how you can place the logo wherever you want, not only here on the left side, but you can center the logo, you can put it on the right side, you can do whatever you want, and you can customize completely all your navigation bar up here. You have to go to customize here, as always, when we need to customize our website. And if you don't have a logo yet, I strongly encourage you to go to a professional logo designer and to ask him or her to build one, because it's very important to create a good looking logo, because it will change completely the feel and look of your business. For example, I choose to create a logo with a custom design by asking to a professional designer, which in this case I had an advantage because it was my brother that designed this logo, and he is very, very smart, and I love his design style. And as you can see here, I have a custom logo, which is great. And if you already have one, it's perfect because we can go here to main row. As you can see here, when I go over with my pointer to this part of the website, I can click on main row and I can simply modify and adjust everything. As you can see here, there is already a part saying logo, and if I want to edit it, I can go back here and I can see that I can click on logo. Perfect. Or I can simply click on the logo here. Now I can select my logo and I can upload my logo. I have a custom a placeholder logo in this case. I can select it. Perfect. You will see the logo appearing up here. And now we are able to adjust the dimensions and everything we need. So we can go back here. We can say that the logo height must be a little bit smaller, for example, 40. Perfect. And then we can go back here. If we want, we can also see show this site tagline. For example, okay, if you didn't update your tagline, you will see something like this. If you want, you can change it. And you can show the website tagline. So let's say WordPress tutorials for beginners. Okay, perfect. You can publish your page, and if you click on the X and open in a new tab, you can see your logo. It's there. Wow, beautiful. Now, as you can see, the logo and the navigation bar will stay up in the screen while we are navigating all the website. And this is awesome because we are capable to click on the menu each time we need it. If you want, you can also update your color. For example, now I need to update my green color because I want it to match the green of the logo. So I copy this color to my clipboard. I click on the customizer, and that's awesome because I can click on colors simply, and I can update this color by simply replacing it here. So I will need to go like this. I publish and voila, that's it. So my logo now, it's the same color of my green all around the website. Wow, that's great. It took me 1 second and I updated my color all over my website in each and every page. As you can see, it's very, very, very easy. Now we can go on by editing all the rest of the navigation bar. You can click on customize, and as I was mentioning before, you can replace your elements. So if you want, you can click on the main row and you can replace and you can change the position of the logo. You can put it on the center of the page, for example, and you can change the position of the menu. You can click on the X if you want to get rid of the search icon if you want. And you can position the menu down here, for example. That's a great option if you want. Now the menu has disappeared. I don't know why. Main menu, for example, publish. Why it is disappearing? I can publish and I can reload my page. Let me check if things are working better now. Okay, great. I can see it now. If I click on bottom row, I can also change the background of this row. For example, I can change the height like this, and I can change the background. Design, default state, background, color different. If you don't see it, don't worry, because it will appear once you're on the front end. If I go and click on the front end, as you can see here, I have got my front end navigation. I will also need to center my logo, so I will need to go to the logo here and to center it. In this case, I will need to content alignment center. Okay, publish, reload my front end page. Wow, that's great. That's great. Oh, okay, I see. As you can see here, we are only able to see the logo when we scroll down. So that was the error that you were seeing before. And if you want to avoid this, you can just go here, back here. Okay, click again on header. And we have to make sure to click on headers now, global header. And in this case, you can see that you can choose which part of the header you need to make sticky. In this case, we can choose main and bottom row. Great. So now when we scroll down, we will be able to see both of the two rows at the same time, as you can see. Perfect. If you want, you can also get rid of the logo and you can just have the bottom row scrolling down. So once you scroll down, you have only the menu and you don't have the logo. So it's pretty interesting, all the different options that you can choose here in order to make your website look exactly how you want. So you can reload the page and let's test this solution. I love it. And you can also change everything when you scroll down. So let's select this one, main and bottom row. I'll show you can also flip and change logo while you scroll down. For example, you can go to main row here. You can choose to change the design of the sticky state. The sticky state is this one while you are scrolling. And you can say to the program here to change color. So I tell to use this one. And I can also go to general and back to logo, elements logo. And I can say also to have a different logo when I'm in sticky state mode. For example, I can use my face when I'm in sticky state. Okay, I need to have some custom design maybe. Let me check here, sticky state, default site tagline. No, okay. So as you can see here, there's my face appearing when I'm scrolling down. It's not so nice to see, so we can just upload another logo, for example. I uploaded this one, for example, and when I scroll down, my logo changes. This is very interesting because we can use the same logo, of course, but we can change the colors if you want. You can make this color white, for example, and when people scroll down, you can change the background color here to match a more darker color. For example, this one. And as you can see, the effect is very interesting from a design point of view. So you can play around and obtain all the kind of different colors you want and design effects you want. And here, if you go to design, in this case, in the logo options, design, you can change the sticky state bottom line, tagline color, in this case, white. Like this, everything works fine. Okay. So I let you play with all these kind of options. And now I like it more, the kind of option which allow me to show only the menu when I'm scrolling down. Okay, like this. It's more clean, it's cleaner, it's better for navigation and user experience. Great. So as you can see, you have a lot of different kind of options here. You can choose also an effect that will apply to your scrolling menu. For example, if I choose slide down, when I scroll down, I will see this cool effect of sliding down of the menu. Or if you choose, for example, fade, I will see a fade effect, for example. Or if you choose auto hide and show, that's interesting because the menu will be hidden when I scroll down and will be revealed when I scroll up again. That's interesting also. You can choose whatever you want. I will leave default now. I like it. And you can also enable transparent functionalities. In this case, it's not our case. So we'll need to delay this and so on. We can publish outside. Voila. The last thing I wanted to show you about the navigation menu is that you can add a lot of different kind of elements. For example, to the bottom row here, you can choose, going backward here, to add a button, for example. If you want to add a button, you can go here and you will have a button in your menu. That's great. You can click on the button, you can change the text. For example, you can click on contact me. Okay. Oh, contact me. Perfect. And then here you can link to a custom page of your website. For example, you can link to the contact page. So you can go to your website, you can click and copy the link of your contact page, and you can paste it back here. That's great. You can choose to open this page, this link in a new tab, and you can set the visibility of this button. If you don't want users that are logged in to see it, you can just choose that only people which are logged out, they can see the button. For example, if I publish my website now, while I'm logged in as an administrator, I don't see the button. But now if I go, for example, and visit my website from an incognito mode window, so I'm logged out, I will see the button that will send me to the contact page. That's great. And you can also add some more stuff, the difference from buttons. You can, now I will show the button also for me because I need to customize and to see how it works. And back here you can add some more elements. You can add social icons, for example, if you need to have some custom social media icons, and you can place them up here if you want, or just up there. You can just do whatever you want. It's very easy to place wherever you want stuff in general. And here, for example, we can also choose to have a smaller top row maybe like this. Maybe it's too small, or no, I think it's okay like this. Then we go to social icons. We can choose which kind of social icons we want to enable. For example, we can get rid of Twitter and Facebook, for example, and we can add TikTok, for example. TikTok. And we can also add something like, I don't know, it's okay. If you want, you can also change the icon. For example, YouTube is not the correct one. You can go to here. Okay, we need just to... Normally you're able to change the icon, but I think that it is an option only available if you have the pro version of Blocksy. In this case, we will need to stay with this icon of YouTube. Okay, and now here, if you want to put your links to your social media, you need to click on social networks account, and you can just scroll down till you find your account that you want to insert, and you just copy paste your URL here inside. So for example, for my Instagram of Take a Tutorial, I can copy and paste https / and I type in www.instagram.com/take-a-tutorial. Perfect. And so on. So you can choose all the different social media that you want to link, and then you publish. Once you're done here, you can go back here. Okay. And then we can choose under Design tab all the colors. For example, when I mouse over these elements, I can see that the color of the icon, it's not so nice. I can tell the over icon needs to be white. Okay, I like it more like this. And then I can go back to general, and I can say open links in new tab, which is very, very important to do so. We can go back down here and we can say none. Okay, so it's even more simple like this. And or if you want, you can say rounded, and we can have less space or more space between icons, and we can just change the icon size, for example, like this. Okay, maybe 10. Okay. Then we can go and choose maybe something about design again. We can have some default state and sticky state. No, it's okay like this. And we can choose also to have both top row and bottom row sticky. Let me check if it is possible. Let's go back here in main row. We go back, we go to headers, we go to global header, and we choose to have, for example, top and main, or only top, only bottom. No, we cannot choose top and bottom. Okay, that's weird, but it's not possible. Okay, so let's go back here, and we can go to the top row, maybe just make a minimum width, and we can choose the design color for the default state, maybe this one. Okay, so it's more clear. Okay, or maybe this one also. As you can see, it will change completely the feeling of the website. So it's up to you to be careful and choose a design that will match your design, your general design. So background color, we can choose white, and when we go over, it's like this. Great. Publish. And now we have customized everything. As you can see here, there are a few more elements. You can add an HTML element if you want to, and you can use it for typing in custom text, for example. You can type in, for example, "Don't worry, be happy," or a custom quote that you love. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, for example. And you, of course, you can go to design and you can change the font color. That's awesome. And you can click on publish. You can also add some links here. If you want to link a word, for example, you select the word and you can add a link to whatever page you want, or to wherever website you want. For example, we can go to the about page here, click on the about page, click on the apply, and then we will need to, we can also change links behavior if you go to design, or if you go to general, and if you, no, nothing. Okay, so we have it like this. Publish. Okay. And we can also add a few more elements. We have a secondary menu that we can use, and we can add whatever we want. For example, here to the upper right side of the page. And of course, we will need to change the color here, because otherwise we won't see the menu. Okay, we can change the size, for example, a little bit smaller, this one, like this. And then we can go I will show you how to change menu actually, and how to link different pages here. We can also go to our search module. We can add a search module, and we can add an account page. This is very useful if you're building a membership website, or if you're simply building a website for yourself, but you want a smoother way to log into your account, to your administration account. You can place it here, for example, and you can click on it, and you can choose different kind of stylings, and you can choose where do you want to be redirected once you're logged in. And for example, here there are the logged out options, and there is a modal, which is very, very handy and very helpful, because once you click on the modal, it will prompt you, it will show you the window that you need to log into your website. So you won't be obliged every time to go and type in WP WP-admin, for example, and you will be just capable to log into your website by clicking on this small icon, which is great, I think. And I think we've finished all the different kind of elements that we can add to our menu. As you can see, there are not a lot of them, but in the pro version of Blocksy there are a lot of more elements to add to your menu. It's very interesting. And let's add also the search bar. So we added everything we could add. And this search bar, you can, the search lens and functionality, you can modify and adjust all the functionalities. If you click on the search element, you can go here and customize search in the website, for example. And as you can see it when you click on the element, now it's not working, but you will see it when we are on the front end of the website. You can see, for example, here, if you want people to be able to navigate and search only posts and only pages, or for example, only posts from your blog, you can just leave posts and people will be able to search and find only posts of your website. You can publish, okay. You can also add a label if you want, search label, as you can see. And I think it's okay. We can publish our navigation now, and we can go like this. As you can see, we built a custom navigation which is very rich of features, and it's completely free. So it's very, very generous. Okay, Blocksy, it's a great theme, as you can see, and you can do whatever you want. You can place elements whatever you want. You can obtain a customized design very quickly. And now what we can do is doing the same thing with footer. So we can go back here down to the website, to the last part of our pages, which is always the same one in each page. So I am on the home page and I see this. I go to the services page, and if I scroll down, I can see the same section. The footer is kind of the signature of your website. As you can see, you will find it on every page of your website. So if you want to customize it, you still need to enable customizer. Let's go to the home page and click on customize in this case. And we just need to scroll down to the bottom of the page, and we will find our footer. This is our footer. We can click on edit, and as I was mentioning before to you, these pictures are loaded from the outside of the website, and if you want, you can simply replace them or get rid of them if you want. You can just select this gallery, for example, click on remove gallery here, and now you can add anything you want. My advice here is not to use this option because it's a little bit laggy and there are some bugs. So if you want to customize your footer here, it's perfect to do like this. Let's do like this. Let's edit everything and let's get rid of everything. So we will just click on 3 dots and remove, and the same thing here in the last one. Okay, let's click on edit and let's get rid of everything. Okay, remove. Now what we can do, it's like this. We can click on publish, of course. We can click on the X here, and we can go to our dashboard, and we can go under appearance widgets here, like this. Okay. From this window, we will be able to customize. We will have to, okay, collapse this. We will have a footer widget area 1, footer widget area 2, and so on. The first 1, 2, and 3 are our 3 areas. So the first one, as you can see here, there are still some image. I don't know why, because I've deleted them, but I can remove them again. And here I can add some new blocks. For example, I click on the plus icon, and I click on the group. I type group, okay, and I select widget group. I'll be able also to click on the plus icon, and I can insert whatever I want. For example, an image. I click on the image. I will select this one, for example. I will use this border radius, maybe more, maybe 900 as always. And then I will go back to the block, background. Same here, size and spacing paddings to 0, border radius. I will add a custom border like this, maybe a little bit bigger. And then I will put it this color. And I will say to 900, perfect. And I also need to make this image a little bit smaller. So let me check on size and spacing. No, let me check on style. And maybe here, image size, medium, okay. Back here, I can also choose under the block settings and under the size and spacing. I can choose the max content width, so I can go about 200 pixels, and I can place this horizontally centered. I can update, and if I want, I can just take a look to my website. I can purge the SG cache, or I can just reload this page, for example, go back to the footer, and I can see my image correctly applied here to the left side. Okay. Now I can do the same thing under the footer 2 widget area. I can select the group here, and I can remove the group, and I can add a new one. So widget group, perfect. Go to the plus icon, and I can use maybe a call to action, for example. Call to action, perfect. I will use this one. Oh, I cannot use it because it's a pro version call to action. I will use this one. Okay. I can enter whatever I want, and I can link this button, for example, to the contact page. Link here, contact page. Update, and here I can write down contact me now. Okay, update. And so I can use the same principle in order to update stuff inside here. If I want to add some links, for example, I can click on this icon, and I can link whatever I want, whatever word I want to link to some pages, for example. I can also choose to delete everything here inside here, and I can click on the plus icon, widget group, and then, as always, I can choose, for example, a menu in this case. And if I type menu, I see page list or navigation menu. I can choose the navigation menu, and I can choose the main one. Select no preview available. Okay, it is not working. So we will try to see why it is not working. Okay, that's weird. We can just remove it. Ah, okay, because it's a legacy widget. Okay, we have to use the navigation. No, navigation menu. It's well, that's weird. Page list maybe. Okay, that's okay. Okay, page list will work too. We can save everything, and then when we look at our footer, we will see something like this. As you can see, we have the links of our main pages. We can change, of course, the title there. We can we can change it into main pages. And then we can reload this page. Wow, that's awesome. This is a great footer, and then here we have our copyright. So we can customize it by clicking on the customizer in this time. The reason I didn't let you customize everything directly from the customizer is because some of these blocks are making problems when you try to edit them directly from here, as you can see here. Once you try to edit elements here, it's a bit clunky, and it doesn't work that well. So I made you pass from this window, as you can see, widgets, which is more stable in order to customize everything. But here we can go back down to the last section of our website, and we can change completely this text. My advice is to keep this one because it's current year, and this text will show automatically the current year of your of the time we are in altogether. Here you can change. You can say great tutorials. Maybe you can use the same words of your tagline, for example, and then here you can great tutorials from take a tutorial. Yay! If you want, you can click the like button on this video. Thank you in advance if you want to do like that, because it will help this video to be seen by more and more people all over the world. So copyright, okay, you can leave it like this if you want, if you like it, or you can just get rid of the copyright word. And that's it, basically. So if you want to link something, as always, you can click on the link, on the icon link, and you can also type in a custom link. For example, take a tutorial.com, and by clicking on the gear icon here, you can click on open link in new tab and update, and this link will open in a new tab. You can see it here. Okay, you can also choose to place differently this element. You can vertically align, that's not important now at the moment, but if you want, you can also edit all the row, the last row, and you can go on design and you can add a row top divider. By clicking on none here, you can add one. As you can see, it's very interesting, this line, and you can customize the line. You can make it more big if you want, bigger. You can go to a maximum to 5. I don't know why, but I guess it's because they don't let you mess up too much the design settings. And as you can see here, you can create a really gorgeous line that's separating the main footer for the signature. Okay, let's click on the X now. And voila, we can make a test. We can log out, or we can just visit our website in an incognito window. And it's beautiful. It's simply beautiful. Now we can control the responsive mode. So we can control how our website and most of all our navigation bar will look when people try to access our website through mobile phones and tablets. So let's go to the customizer. Let's click on customize here. And we will see the power of Blocksy in this case. It's very easy to customize and almost fun, as you will see now. So when you will click on one of the main rows here, one of the mobile rows, one of the navigation rows, sorry, there is the main one here, there is a top row, and there is the bottom row. You have to make sure that each of these rows looks gorgeous and great on mobile phone and on tablets. So to do this options, to deal with these options, you need to go here on the customizer and you need to select tablet mode. As you can see, everything changes immediately, and in this case you have only the main row that it is shown. You have no elements in your top row and in your bottom row, but you can add them, of course. I'll show you in a moment. And if you want, you can also customize completely your menu. At the moment we have this menu, which is great, but we can completely change it as we want. So let's close it and let's go back here. Here we have all our elements that we can add to our navigation menu. So we can choose, for example, to add a button if you want, and we can add it, for example, at the center here. And as you can see, it will appear here. So now we can select the top row. We can choose some design settings, some general settings. We can, for example, here go a little bit more like this, so the button will be more visible, and so we will have a call to action immediately visible in our mobile responsive mode. So when people access the website on tablet, we'll see this. And if we switch here in the bottom left side of the page, we choose the mobile view, you will see also a preview on how your website will look on mobile. So tablet and mobile. Okay. Be aware that if you choose to edit any option while you are in tablet mode, it will also reflect on mobile phone, while the contrary will not happen. So if you change something in mobile phone, will not reflect in tablet mode. So the best way here, the best practice, is to edit everything starting from tablet and then go and check if everything looks well on mobile too. So let's go on tablet now. And let's continue to edit the top row. So while we have this button, we can choose also to position it on the right side of the page or on the left side of the page, like this. And in this case, we will leave it centered because it's a great position, I think, for a call to action, for example. And we can go to the logo and we can choose to have a different logo height, for example, a 30. Because on mobile phone we have less space, of course, and we can also choose to align differently the logo. We can choose to align it left side, which is more interesting when we are on tablet and mobile phone. Under the design tab, we can also go to the tagline font and we can make it smaller. For example, we can go on 11. And we can also check that everything looks great. Okay, as you can see, sometimes if you want to switch and directly see how it's looking on mobile, you can do like this, and I think it's perfect also on mobile. And we can go on tablet mode now. We can go on the trigger here on the right side of the page. Okay, and we can also choose, for example, to have a custom icon. As you can see here, there are different icons that you can use to showcase your menu trigger button. We can use the default one, which is the most used in general. We can increase the size if you want. We can go to 25, for example, so it's very very visible and you cannot miss it. Okay, and you can go on by styling, so you can use an outline like this, or you can go on solid. Solid, it's also cool. And of course, on design option, you can style your background color. If you want, for example, a different color, you can do like this. If you want this color, you can do like this, and so on. You can also change the color when mouse over. In this case, it's not so interesting because there will not be mouse over on tablet and on phone. Maybe sometimes on tablet, yes, but on the phone it's rare, very rare. But you can also style this color. I'll leave the same one. And you can change everything also for sticky state. We will see that in a while. And let's say that we also want to add a border radius. If you want, you can do so by increasing this number. You can go to 100, for example, and you will have a rounded menu. Okay, we can also add some margins if you want, so like this, for example, but it's not useful in our case. And that's it. Basically, you can also add, if you want, a label. For example, in this case, we need it for tablet mode and also for mobile menu, if you want, like this. And it helps people to understand that that's a menu. And of course, you can change the label. You can change click me or find out more, for example, and find out more. And I just leave it blank because I don't need to show any label, and I leave it like this. Perfect. So I publish my trigger. Okay, I also want to test if maybe this one, it's cool. I publish, and I can of course I can also move my trigger whatever I want, but I suggest you to leave it in the main row. Is the best practice that you can use in this case. If you want, you can also add some elements to the bottom row. In some cases it can be useful. For example, you can add let me see here if there's something useful to add to our bottom row. But as you can see, each of the elements that you have at your disposal here are already used. You have only the account and the search element, but in this case they're not useful, so we can just leave the bottom row as it is. We can go now on off canvas area. We can click here. This is the area that will contain the menu once people click on it. And you have two different styles. Basically, you can choose if people, when they click on this menu, they will see this side panel, for example, or you can choose modal. Modal, it will open all the navigation menu, as you can see here, full screen. So choose whatever you want. I like the side panel, but I want to align everything. I can also choose here, as you can see, to align on the left or on the right side. It's better to leave it on the right side, of course. I can choose the width of the panel, and then I can choose the alignment of the elements. In this case, leave it like this because it's really well done. So leave it like this, of course, it's important. And go here, you can change the alignment of the elements. So of course at the right side it will be more easy for people to tap with their tab, so it's easier, or also centered. It's a good practice. And I leave it centered now for the moment. I like it. And I can go on design, and I can also change your background color of the menu. If you want, you can change it from here. This one it's clearer, but this one I like it. And you can change the backdrop color, so the color that will be used for the backdrop, and you can also change the transparency of this color. In this case, I will leave a standard color like this, so that Okay, I'm okay. The panel shadow, if you want to adjust it, you can do it like this. And the close button. This is the close button. If you want to make it more visible, you can increase the size, for example, maybe to 25. Maybe it's too big, 25. Let's say 20. Okay, it's too big. Let's say 15 maybe. Okay, 15, it's okay. And you can change the color on over and initial color. You can also change the border, or you can add a background. And you have also the option of border radius if you want. In this case, maybe I will just leave a border, a simple border, okay? And I'll change the border color to be less, maybe like this, white, okay. So it will be like this. Great. I can save now, I can publish, and let's check how it's behaving on mobile. So let's click here, down here on the left side of the screen, and we will see that our menu is beautiful. If you want to change the elements that are inside this menu, you can do so by choosing here everything. You see, you have an off-canvas logo, which is a logo that you can select only for the off-canvas menu. In this case, we can use this one, for example. And as you can see, it's beautiful. Wow. Okay, here you have this menu. And if you want to modify and customize this menu, you can go on mobile menu here. You can change the icon for the sub items. You can choose the plus icon or this type 3 icon, type 3, and it's easy. And here you have the interactive collapse. This option will collapse, expand the sub menu items on click touch. If you disable this, all the menus will be already opened in mobile. This is also a great solution if you want to keep it like this. You can also increase or decrease the vertical spacing between elements. In this case, 7 looks great. And under design, you can also add an items divider. This is a great solution if you want to get more focus on each element. And you can go on initial here and you can change the color. We can change it to this color if you want. If you want to have a different menu, you can create one, and I will show you in a moment how you can do that by the menu screen. It's great and it's very simple. So you can create a menu exactly that you will use only on mobile. You can do that very easily, and I will show you that in a moment. But let's end up here with the HTML. You will see the same HTML element that we created for our desktop view that we inserted here, and here on tablet they're just it's just here. If you want, you can delete it, or you can customize it. Keep in mind that if I customize it here, I think that will be updated automatically also on desktop. As you can see here, the same customization appears also here, so it's the same one basically. So the same content will appear on desktop and on tablet and mobile menu. So if you don't want it, you can just click on the X and you will get rid of it. And you have social icons, which will behave exactly the same as we customize them here on the desktop mode. Of course, you can change the dimensions and the icons and whatever you want here from social icons in tablet and in mobile phone. Let's say that we want them to be a little bit smaller, so we can do icon size, for example, and we can decrease the size to 15, and the same will be applied on mobile phone. Great. So we have finished here, and we can just publish our page and with all our customizations, and we can just check it out on the front end. We can right click with our mouse and we can inspect, and we can choose this icon here, which is an icon that regulates the preview on different kind of devices. As you go here, you can leave responsive, or you can preview on different models of phones and tablets and so on. And if you want, you can just stretch the window to see how your website is behaving in different kind of viewports. For example, here it's mobile and it looks great. And if I scroll down, I can see that everything looks gorgeous out of the box. That's awesome. Now we have to customize our footer. So if we go back down to our page, we can see our footer, and we can customize everything for tablet and mobile phone. Let's go to the customizer again. In this case, we have to click on footer here on the left side of the page, and we can scroll down in order to see our footer while we are customizing it. Okay, great. Let's see that we have the 3 rows has the header, it's the same structure, and we can go on the middle row now and we can select tablet. Let's scroll down. Okay, we can see that the first widget is this one. Okay, it's great, we don't need to do anything. The second widget is this one. Okay, and the third widget is this one. If you want, you can try to you can edit all these different kind of elements by clicking on edit and clicking here on the customizer and trying to customize everything. But as I showed you before, you can also do the same thing in a better way by going to the widgets menu. This menu will disappear soon, but I hope that when you will see this tutorial, it will be still there, because in WordPress they are working to remove it and to place it anotherwhere, but it's not important at the moment. It's still here, and I hope that it will stay here for at least 1 year. And as you can see, we can just customize everything here. If you want to have a preview on different kind of views, you can just switch from here, go on tablet mode, go on mobile mode, and change everything from here. Okay, and going back to the customizer, we can just choose different kind of solutions for our middle row. For example, we can choose if we want to change the layout of columns. So if you want to leave it stacked like this, okay, but if you want, you can also try to leave columns. So like this, if you go on 2 columns, the footer elements will be disposed on 2 columns. And if you see that this it's working well for you, you can also add 4 columns in your footer. Of course, you can do that by applying them to your desktop view, and you can go on 4, and you can add some more content here on the right side. For example, here you can choose to add widget area number 4, and you can add whatever you want. For example, some contact informations and so on. And as always, maybe it's useful to use a widget group here, and then insert inside the widget group some paragraphs, some text, some whatever you want in general. So you can change title and contact me, my phone. Oh, I didn't want to erase it. My phone 012345678 and just that's it. Okay, let's publish. And this is an example to see that if you go back to the middle row and you go back to the tablet view, if you switch on 2 columns, it's a great solution to showcase all your 4 widgets in tablet mode, and in mobile mode you can leave it stacked because it's easier to see like this, all the elements. But if you want, you can force it like this. It's not so beautiful as you can see, but you can go back here. Okay, so you saw how easy it is also to customize your footer, but let's go on and make it more neat. So let's erase now this one. Let's go back to footer, middle row, and let's go back to 3 columns. Let's leave stacked on tablet also, okay. And we can choose to have some options of design, widget spacing, for example, column spacing. If you find that this space is too much, you can decrease it like this by decreasing the column spacing. Maybe it will work well even about 40. And widget spacing, it's not working now because we have only 1 widget for each widget area in this case. And let's leave it to 40, okay. And row vertical spacing, it will just decrease, as you can see, the whole row spacing. Let's leave it to the default one, which is 50, okay. And we can also see the design settings. We can change the font color for the titles, for example. And in this case, only the widget titles will change. We have only 1 widget title, which is this one, and we just want to leave it like this. And we can change the widget font's color, but this will apply only to the normal widgets, and in this case we don't have normal widgets. We can change the link colors. As you can see here, we have some links, and we have changed the color of the links. Let's leave it here like this. And we can also change the row background. If you want, you can change the complete background of the row. This is a great solution, for example, or you can leave it white. And you can also use gradients, images. Of course, you can play around with your creativity, of course, but I always suggest you to use your main colors. If you use gradients, it's a great idea to use your global colors here. I don't know if you can do it. In this case, we don't have the option to select our global color, so let's leave it on normal colors and it will be great and it will work greatly. And we can go to the top divider, but we don't need it. But if in case you need it, it's just a simple line that you can add here, and you can use it to show a separation between the footer and the rest of the elements. Keep in mind that everything you're doing here, it's only for tablet and mobile. If you want to do it for a global footer, you need to select desktop, because otherwise, as you can see here, for example, my top row divider is only visible when I switch to tablet mode. Okay. As you can see, voila. That's it, and let's choose maybe this color, which is lighter, the same that I choose for my bottom, okay, and publish. Now we can also adjust the bottom row, the last row here, and we can choose to have different kind of solutions for tablet mode and different designs for tablet mode. For example, we can choose a different background on tablets, and this is not useful in our case, so I think that I will leave simply my white background. Publish. That's it. The footer was easier to customize. In this case, we had just a few widgets, and if you want, you can click on edit in each widget, and you can change something like this. But in general, you will have to edit all the widgets in your widget area. It's easier and it's more effective. Okay, let's close now, and we can just check if everything works well. So we go on inspect, we can click on this icon here. We are in Google Chrome browser, and we can check if everything looks well in our responsive mode. Okay, now we are seeing our website, how it will be seen when people try to access it by phone or by tablet. If we increase a little bit, we have the tablet view, and it looks great. We have the menu, which is great. It's easy to navigate. We see all the pages. We see everything. We have the social media elements and so on. Great. So now the last thing we need to learn, it's how to create new pages, how to deal with pages and how to manage pages in general, and of course how to get rid of some pages that we don't need and how to create new ones. Okay, now we will just take the time to appreciate our work. I love this moment to actually enjoy the work we just did together. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a line down in the comment section below, because I will be happy to help you if I can. Now, let's see how it's possible to modify this menu and how it's possible also to create new pages, to get rid of them, and so on. So let's go back to our website on the dashboard. And if you want to take control of the menu, you need to go to Appearance and click on Menus. From here, you will see all the different menus that you have at your disposal, and you can also create a new menu if you want. For example, we will create a new one, and we will call it Secondary. Okay, now we click on Create Menu, and in this case, we can assign it automatically to our header menu number 2. Save menu, perfect, and we can choose from the pages section here on the left side. We can click on View All, and we can choose which pages we want to be shown in this menu. For example, I just want the contact page and the services page. I add them to my menu. I can also add some custom links. For example, if I need a custom link to Take a Tutorial website, I can do like this, and I can insert my link here. In this case, if you add this item to the menu, you can click on the icon here, and if you want, you can also add some more customizations. For example, if you need this item to open in a new tab, you can go up here on the screen options, and you can choose to show link target. This one, it's very important. You close the screen options, and as you can see here, there is a little options that has appeared now, which allows you to open this link in a new tab. Okay, I can save this menu. I can go back to my website to see how things are changing now. And as you can see, my secondary menu gets update, and I have my link to Take a Tutorial website. And if I open it, it opens in a new tab. That's great. I also have some links to my contact page and to my services page, which are great. Okay, now I will see how to customize another menu, a already created menu. Let's go back here to our website, and as you can see, you have a shortcut here which says menus. It's the same that if you go to appearance and menus. Here, if you want, you can select again your main menu. You can select it. You can delete it if you don't want it anymore, or you can just rearrange stuff. You can move, for example, blog here. You can delete your contact page because you just have the button, so you don't need to have it also in your menu. And once you go again back and you see your website, it's more simple. It's simpler, and it works well like this, because you see you have your contact page here. You don't need it to have it in the menu also. And also here you can add some custom pages, some categories of your blog if you have a blog, and so on. Now what we can do is also have some sub menus if you want. You can, for example, place this I don't know, maybe this about page under the services if you want, and this becomes a sub item. So when you save the menu and you go front end of your website and you reload the page, you will see that under the page services there is the about page. That's great. So you can also build complex menus in this way. It's very easy, and as you can see, everything is free. So Blocksy, it's very generous theme, and once if you will need some more options, you will see that in the Pro version there are even more features. It's very, very powerful. And now if I want to change menus, for example, if I want to assign a different menu to my main navigation bar, I can just go to the customizer and be sure that I change my assigned menu, simply using the options that are at your disposal here. So you go on bottom row in this case. You can also hover the menu and you can see that there is 3 dots here, blue, and you can just adjust your menu. From here, from select menu, you can change menu and you will see all the menus that you created on the menu screen. So from this screen here where we were before, here, if you have more than one menu, you will see the main menus, the same menus you created here, and you will be able to switch them and to choose the menu you want. For example, if I use my secondary menu that I created here, as you can see, it's exactly the one I created here. Contact services and take a tutorial. Contact services and take a tutorial. In this case, I will go back just to my main menu and I will publish my page. Now you need to know how to edit, customize, delete, and add new pages to your website. It's very easy. You can just go here on your dashboard, and then you have to locate the menu item called pages. Voila, there he is. There it is. You can click on pages and you can click on all pages, so you can see all the pages that are already created in your website. You can choose, for example, this is a duplicate page. I can trash it if I don't want it. By overing the different items, you see some quick links here. And for example, this page, I want to trash it. I click on trash, and simply that page will disappear. Perfect. And it will be, of course, located into trash. So if I want to empty my trash, I can click here. Very easy. I can go back to all, and here I can click on each of these pages and I can edit these pages. So it's very easy. Same thing I can do simply by visiting my website and going here, going to visit some pages, as you can see. But in this way you have the full control of all your pages of your website, even the pages that are not inserted into your menus. So this time you can also, at this moment you can also choose to edit a page, as I was mentioning. So you click on the title of the page and you scroll down. You can change all the content of the page, and once you go back, you can also decide to create a new page just by clicking on add new, and later on I will show you how to create a page from scratch. So this is all you need to know about pages, and a similar way to deal with content, it's about posts. The only difference is that the pages are just to create a structure of your website, and posts will go and fill your blog. So you have a blog, and a post will have an author, will have a date, and they will have also a comment system. So you can people can comment under your blog post if you want to open these functionalities, and so on. So they also can be organized in categories and tags. So these are blog posts and these are pages. These are the two main content that you can add to your website when you use WordPress out of the box. So now we can go on by creating a new page. Let's click on new page, and we will need to create a new page. So let's call this page whatever we want. for example, landing page in my case. In your case, of course, you will use a good name that will describe the content of your page, and that will be good from an SEO point of view and also from a marketing point of view. Now here, the problem here is that we didn't create a page from scratch, but if you want to do so, it's very easy. We can proceed in two ways. The first way is the simplest one. It's to click on Design Library and to select Wireframes. This is a great way to start with creating a new page, because we have some content, as you can see here, which is already created for us. We just need to add some images and it will be already done. And it's great. It's simple to customize, and it already follows some good practice from a web design point of view. But in our case, we will also see the second step that we can take if we want to create a page entirely from scratch. We can go here, we can click on the plus icon, and we can simply search for columns. Columns. Okay. We always choose the gradient colored blocks, in this case, columns container. We choose it, and we can choose a different kind of columns, shapes, as you can see here. We have 50-50, 100%. We can go with 100%, for example. And if we click on the plus icon, we can add content as we are already capable to do. So we can click on the plus icon, and if you don't see stuff like this, you need to go back to click again on the plus icon, and you will be able to to see again everything. So here we can go to the plus. We can also type inside here if we want. You can type button, for example, and add some buttons. You can say click me, for example, and you can go on by clicking on the plus icon and maybe header. We need a heading, for example, and this is an awesome page. Then we can go on by clicking on the plus icon here, and we can add an image, for example. Let's change this time. Let's use this one, or maybe this one, or maybe a logo, for example, this one. We do like this. We can choose the size of the logo. For example, we can just resize it like this. If it doesn't work, as you can see here, we can click here and we can go back to the bottom here and it will work correctly. Okay, that's great. We can move our logo now and we can align it to the left side of the page, or we can just simply leave it like this and we can just replace it like this. Okay. Now the button here, we can select the group of buttons and we can select Align Text Center. We can do the same thing here with our title and we can move it here. Okay. Interesting is that we can also change this title and we can apply the H1 title, which is better because always when you have the first title of the page, it's important that is an H1 title. You can also go to page, you can also go to Blocksy up on the upper right side of the page. You can go to page title and you can disable your page title. I'll show you now why we are doing so. We can publish our page now. Okay, as you saw, we can also switch to draft because if we are not ready yet to publish our page, we can also simply save the page as a draft, and then we can preview the page. Okay, and now as you can see here, we have the title of our page showing up like this. If you want your page title to appear in each page automatically, you can just leave it like this and you will be able to customize it from the customizer. And if you don't want that to happen, you just simply need to go here to Blocksy settings. You can go to page title and you can disable your page title and publish or save draft. In this case, if we reload the page, we will see that the page title has disappeared. Great. So now we can go back to our page. We can switch, maybe the logo, I don't like it. I prefer to put an image here. I select this one, okay. And if the image is kind of weird, I can simply delete it and reinsert a new image. But in order to do so, I can use this list view, which is very, very, very useful. And I can see that my container, it actually has only the buttons inside, but I want also my text to be inside the container. So I can just drag it and drop it inside here, okay? And this is interesting because if I want, I can go on the container here and I can apply, for example, going back to the gear here, a block color, a background color, for example. And I can also insert an image, as I was telling you, but I changed my mind and I wanted to do something different. So I go here to the options of this column container and I put it align full width, for example. I can save my draft now. I can reload my page. And as you can see, I have a completely different design. If I want to get rid of the space above and below, I can click here on my page and I can go back to the Blocksy options, upper right side of my page. I can go on content area vertical spacing custom, and I can get rid clicking on disabled. I can save again my draft and I can see my design shaping. Okay, that's great. I can go again here and I can also choose in my column container options. If I go back to the gear here, I can choose in the block options to have a custom size and spacing by telling that I want a minimum height. By doing like this, I can also align the content to the center, and as you can see, my height will be of 550. If I want to see it in tablet mode, I can preview it like this. Maybe in tablet I want my height to be a little bit less, so I can choose 380, for example, and so on. I can see also on mobile, if everything looks okay, I can keep it like this, and I can go on and save my draft. Once I've done with all this stuff, I can go back to our simple desktop mode, and I can add an image on the background here. So I can go to background, I can go to image here, and I can choose this one, for example, select, and I can choose to have a background media tint strength like this. So I will have a color that I can apply in order to be able to read well and better. So I can choose to have a different kind of color by choosing it here. Okay, this one looks great to me. If I want, I can also switch and make the text, for example, white by selecting the text and changing the color. And of course, I can go back to the background. I can go to the darker background, for example. Okay, when I've done, I can just reload the page and I'm creating a beautiful landing page. If I want, I can also get rid of the entire header section. For example, if I want this landing page to be only for a simple call to action, I don't want the menu to be shown to my visitors, I can go to my Blocksy options, I can go back here and I can disable my header, as you can see here. I can also disable my footer, but in this case I will just need to disable my header. If I reload the page, I will see only, as you can see, the content of the page and my footer. That's great. So as you can see, you have a lot of different kind of options when you need to add some content and some elements to your pages. And here you can simply add more stuff. If you want to click on these three dots, you can click on insert after, or you can simply go down here. You can click on the white space and this button will appear, and you can add to click more blocks. For example, a new column container, in this case as 5051. And here you can add an image and so on. You get it. It's very easy and very intuitive. So you can add some more content here. You can add, for example, text, or you can, now I will show you just with a lorem ipsum text in order to show you how it will look once you put it inside. Okay. Like this, and then you'll be able to adjust all your text. Oh well, there's a lot of text here. Maybe we don't need that much. Okay. Then we can go like this. Perfect. If you want, you can also choose to select here. You see, when you click the first one, after when you click this one, it will select you the hierarchical how do you say the otherwise you can always go here to the list view. It's way more easier. It's easier. You can select different elements by clicking on them. It's the best way to navigate between elements. If you're here and you want to select the whole container, for example, you go to the whole container, you can select here to full width, and this time you can save draft and we can see which kind of design we are building. If we don't like this because it's too wide, we can leave it wide like this, but we can go inside the options, in this case of this block, of this column container. We can go to the styling options, and we can say here content width, and we can click on the middle one. If I'm right, save draft. We reload the page, and no, it's not the middle one, but it was the first one. Okay, content width, first one, save draft, reload the page. Okay, and as you can see, the content will be stretched and will be aligned with all the other contents of your website. This is great. And at the same time, you will be able to apply, for example, a background color if you want, or just to apply something different to your background here. If you want, for example, we can go to block background, and as you can see now, if I save my draft, I will have my background all stretched from side to side of my window, and the content will stay in the middle. And that's a great example to use this settings. Last thing I wanted to show you is if you select the column container outside, you will be able also to align all the elements vertically. So if you go to alignment, you can choose this option, column alignment vertical. And for example, the text, as you can see here, it's vertically aligned with your image. You can save your draft. You can always check how your design it's how you say, it's evolving. And then here you can also get rid of this space if you want. For example, here like this. Okay, perfect. And you can add some more space, but this time at the in the inside of this column container. So you select the second one, column container. You can go on block. This time you search for size and spacing, and we can go on paddings, and we can go and click here, and we can choose to have some custom paddings here at the top side, for example 150, and at the bottom side of this container 150. Save draft, and this is another custom how do you say, it's a custom example that I give you in order to be able to design even if you're not a designer. If you use correctly spaces, as you can see here, the eye gets the how do you say, gets the harmony and the time and the space to focus on the elements. So the eye will be more how do you say, will be guided to see this image, and then after to go back to this website, to this text. And if you want to do things very, very well, you need to add a title here, for example. So you can click in the white area here. And if you don't see the plus here, it's not important, because you just need to go here and to click on add insert before, for example. And here in before, we can click on the plus icon, and we can choose heading, for example. We can click on heading. And now here we can add an heading text, for example, read me if you like. Read me if you like. Okay. Then here we can add a button, for example. So we can go here and we can add a custom button, for example, click me. And this time we will use a ghost one. You can see it changes completely everything. You can also have a plain link like this. You can have a plain button without background, or a plain link is good like this. I like it. I can save my draft, and once I go back to my page, I can see that my eye, you see, is guided. Before I see the image, I see immediately the title. Then if I'm interested, I can read here. Maybe it's a little bit too long, so if I want to be more effective, I need to have a smarter and a shorter text here. So I can save draft. And now the last thing we need to do in order to have a great design here is to increase this space between the image and the text. So how can we achieve this? We can go on select column here on the column container here, and down here in the block settings under, I think it's under size and spacing, I think. Let me check. No, if it's not here, it's under style. Okay, it's under style. You need to increase column gap. So you can go under maybe 70 would be great in this case. Let me check it. Save and reload page. 70 looks gorgeous. As you can see, with a few tricks and a few workarounds, we were able to create a beautiful, yet simple, of course, landing page. As you can see here, we have a great and gorgeous welcoming screen. And of course here you can be more design oriented if you increase the dimension of this text. If you want to do so, you can just play with size here. You can use 60 size, for example, and of course you will need to adjust it on tablet, phone. For example, on tablet we can go about 40, or maybe a little bit more, maybe a kind of 48. Okay, and then check on mobile. Okay, that can work, of course, but maybe on mobile we need less space between different lines. So we can click on the text, and we can click on typography. This time we can click on the pencil here, and we can choose a different line height, height or height, I don't know what to say, 1.3 for example. It's still too much. 1.1, it looks great. We can save, go back to our desktop vision, going back here. Wow, okay. And as you can see, this is a kind of a process. You can add and take away and delete, adding, deleting, and testing with different sites, different kind of backgrounds, and so on. So that's it. We built a new page, and now we need to go back here, and for the purpose of this tutorial, I will add again my menu, my header. Okay, I will put back the header. I will publish my page now, and I will add this page to my menu. So I will view this page, perfect. If I need to add this page, for example, to my services, I can go to my menus. I can go here. I will see on view all that I have a new page called landing page. I will add this page to my menu, and I can choose. I can put it here, or I can put it down here, for example. I can save my menu, and then I can click on my view site, and I have my new page right here. Perfect. As you can see, it's very easy, intuitive, and most of all, it's a pleasant work to create and build our own or our client's website. And what about commenting? If you have any question or even feedback, if you want to leave a feedback now down in the comment section below, I will be very happy to read it. And of course, I will also be very happy if you want to leave a like, a thumbs up, and to subscribe to Take a Tutorial channel. Thank you in advance. One more thing I'd like to explain to you, it's how you can use wireframes in Stackable. Wireframes are beautiful, and if you want to create a page and to speed up the process without having to create each and every part step by step, as you saw before, we can just go and edit this page, for example, and use all the wireframes that are at your disposal completely for free. You can find them just by clicking on Design Library here at the top of the page. As I showed you before, under wireframes, you can just browse a lot of different kind of structures that you can use for your content on your website. For example, this one is great. You can use an hero section to display a video and title and button. This is great, and as you can see, all the styling of the website will be applied immediately, automatically. So the colors, the button shapes, and the fonts, and everything will be automatically applied, and you will be able just to customize everything very easily and very quickly, as you saw before by browsing around between block style and advanced tab. You can just customize everything. If we go on, we can also add some more parts, so you can see just how easy it is to manage them. You can add sections like this. You can add whatever you want here from your wireframes. And once you will have a blog, you will be able also to display your blog posts very easily. And in this case, we will just use a last section maybe for a pricing table. Let me check if there is one here. If you don't find anything, something, you can just use the bar here, pricing. And voila, here there are the pricing tables. We can use this one, very easy, or if you have different pricing models, you can use this one, for example. And everything is smooth. As you see here, styling are applied automatically. You can use professionally designed templates like this without having to spend any penny, so it's beautiful. And you can just adjust anything you want. As you saw before, it's intuitive, and you can always drop me a line down if you don't understand something, because I'll do my best to respond to everyone. And now if you want to add a background video, it's great because we can go here to background. We can go to background image or video. We can go here and click. And in order to show a background video, we'll need to download it from YouTube or for Vimeo, or just to have one video on our computer. My advice here is to have very light videos and very short videos to use as a background, but the final effect would be great. So let's go here and let's type in download video from YouTube. Let's click on the first one. There are plenty of these software websites online. Let's block everything, and we can just go here and download the video in maybe this one, WebM. No, there's maybe, yes, let's try this one. No, yes, there it is. We can go here and click on download. Perfect. The video, it's a bit big because it's about 34 megabytes, so it's not it's not a great choice. I will advise you to choose videos around 4-5 megabytes maximum, but in order to show you how it works, I just use this one, which is very huge video. So don't use the same size of videos. I'll just advise you to use very small videos, but in this case we will go for a big video, but just to show you the effect in place. Okay, the video has been uploaded to my media library. I can select it, and as you can see, there is a beautiful effect here, and I can also increase the contrast by increasing the color of the background. I can go here and choose a background color, for example orange, and I can choose how this color should behave here on the background, for example like this. I don't like orange, so I replace it with this one, for example, or with this one. And I can change, of course, the color of the text, for example, like this. And here on typography, can go like this. And if I don't like the fact that everything is too wide, I can go on the outside column by helping myself with this list view, okay? And I can tell under the style settings, or under the block setting in this case, and under size and spacing, I can choose to give a maximum content width. Let's see if it's okay to work. No, I think it's not okay, because if we do like this, yes, all the column will be impacted. So we just need to go to column in this case maybe, and inside block and inside size and spacing, now we can choose, for example, 600. Okay, now it's okay. We can place it centrally, we can center to everything, we can update, and we added a beautiful section with a video on background, with a background video. So I also showed you this little trick, and I was as I was mentioning before, you need to choose videos that are really short and really light. So 5 megabytes maximum, it's a good solution. In general, I don't recommend you to upload videos in the backgrounds. Only do so only if you really need to create a wow effect and you need to have a video for your background. Otherwise, it's strongly discouraged to do so, because you can really make your page how do you say, heavy to load. Now it's time to take control of the contact forms on our website. So when we visit the website here, we have already a contact page created when we imported our starter site, and we can see that in this page there is a contact form, and also in our home page, if we scroll down, we can see that there is a short contact form right here. So how we can take control of these forms and how we can receive notifications each time a client or a simple visitor want to contact us for providing our services, for example. It's easy. We can go to WPForms up here, or we can make sure here that under plugins, installed plugins, we have activated our WPForms Lite. And if you don't have it, we can go to add new, and we just type in WPForms, and it's the first result, I think. Yes, it's this one with the bear with the smiling bear. And once you install and activate your plugin, you will find it right here, WPForms. This is a great plugin because it's free at the beginning. You also, if you want, of course, if you want more options, you will have to buy the pro version. And but it's perfect if you start from scratch, and if you want something simple to use and something free, of course. The first thing I suggest you to do is to get rid of all these messages. So you can click on the X up there, you can click on the X here 2 times, and you can click on the X here. Okay, you can do also this. You can go on settings, you can go on MISC here, and you can check hide announcements, and you can check disable email summaries. Save settings. Wow, that's perfect. Okay, you can go now on all forms, and you can see some forms that are already created by our by our theme at Blocksy, because when you import your starter site, you already have some content, some contact form created for you. The most important one is the contact form that we found on the contact page. So this page we will customize it now together, and most of all we will customize this form. So if you go now to WPForms, which you can also click on and how do you say, which you can get there by clicking on WPForms here on your admin bar. You can go on contact form, which is the one that we want to customize now. It's this one. Okay. As you can see, there are the same fields. So name, last name, email, and message, and the button here is this one. It's exactly the same. And how we can do in order to customize it, we can simply click on each element. For example, this one, and we can change label. We can change the format here. We can change and add some descriptions. For example, add your informations in order to have the best experience on our website. For example, no, you can add this kind of information above all the fields of this form. Here you can write whatever you want. And of course, you can go on with all the other fields. Of course, you can also change labels. You can choose if one field needs to be required needs to be mandatory or no. You can also choose for this email field if people need to confirm their email address, for example, which is always something good to do if we want. And you can go to the message field and you can type in a description here too. You can make it required. And you can go to the advanced settings. You can choose a lot of other stuff. You can use also a placeholder text. Type here your message. ... For example, you can limit length. For example, you can say the max length of the message should be 500 characters or words, and so on. You can do a lot of stuff here. And now you can also go to add fields, and we can choose to add some standard fields. All the other fancy fields and the payment fields are available only if you have the pro version of WPForms. And down here, up here, you can choose some other fields. For example, if you want some checkboxes to be present on your form, you can add them easily like this by dragging and dropping them here. And by clicking here, you can customize all the choices. So why are you writing me? Maybe you can put it differently. Here you can choose I want a landing page. I need to sell more. Or the third choice should be, for example, I love you. Okay, so here you can replace them like this. You can reorder them like this. You can delete them. You can do whatever you want here, and you can also, of course, add some more options like this. Now you can also add use the image choice, which is very fancy and interesting. You can, for example, choose to upload a different image for each of the different choices. For example, this one, of course, need to be images that are linked and related to the choices the people will made. In this case, I'm just making some examples for you. So you can see that already in the free version of this plugin, you can obtain a really cool system of choices. In this case, in this case, I need to upload a new one, maybe this one. Okay, great. So this one I can delete it, and of course you can also under the advanced settings, you can choose to use columns, for example, like this. So people will need to choose using columns. You can hide label. This is the label. You can choose a different design settings. None, for example, classic or modern. Okay, you can just choose whatever you want. You can randomize choices, or you can also use a disclaimer, for example, here, a disclaimer, terms of service display, and as you can see here, there is a disclaimer. Okay, I don't know how to customize it because it's weird. It doesn't allow you to customize it, but I think it will be explained after. Now you can make required this field, okay, so that people will be required to choose at least one option. and you can go on 2 columns, on 3 columns, and so on. And you can also go inline. 3 columns looks good. Okay. You can also have a choice limit. For example, limit the number of checkbox a user can select, leave them empty for unlimited. For example, if you want the people only to select 1, you can choose 1, and people won't be able to select more than 1, for example. And going back to add fields, you can also add some single line text, for example, which you can use for name, surname, website, for example, if you want to enable website information for people. Enter your website URL, or you can go to add fields, and actually I think that there is also a website field here, but it's in the paid version of the plugin, and you can add some numbers, multiple choices, paragraph, and so on. And you can also add a CAPTCHA, for example, which is great if you want to go to WPForms settings here, and you can go to CAPTCHA and maybe enable the Google reCAPTCHA. Okay, you just need to create a side key and a secret key on the actual website of Google reCAPTCHA, which is here. Okay, all it's explained in details here, so it's very easy. You go here to the admin console, and you can just create a reCAPTCHA by typing in your website name, and just by completing all this form, you click on send, and then you will have a custom secret key and a customer key and side key. So you will paste them here. You can choose a V2 or a V3. I strongly suggest V3 because it's invisible and it's way more effective. It's the most recent one, and then you can click on save settings, for example, so you can be able not to receive spam through this form. Here you can also go to advanced, and you can choose small, medium, or large for your field. And you can use a placeholder text, for example, and so on. That's always the same. And you can, basically that's it. I think that's it. And you can also add checkboxes in order to add some, some policy field, for example. You can delete this, you can require this to be checked, and you can, I accept the privacy policy, for example, no? It's very easy. Now, if you need to display your privacy policy link here, you can do it by adding this tag, this HTML text, as you can see. I will leave you this also in the description below, so you will be able to copy and paste it directly into the website. And as you can see here, the link will immediately appear under here, and you will be able to customize this link just by changing this symbol here. It will be very important that at the place of this symbol you will paste the URL of your privacy policy page. For example, now I've created the privacy policy page by using the guidelines of WordPress. So when I go to pages here, I had this page here pre-created by WordPress, and I choose to publish this page. Okay, and I will visit this page here, and I can copy and paste this URL. Okay, great. So I can just go here, and at the place of this symbol, I will insert my URL, the URL of my privacy policy page. That's perfect because in this way you can just provide a simple link, a direct link to your privacy policy page to all your visitors, and it's very important to do so. Once you've done like all this kind of stuff, all this technical stuff, we can say, you will need to go to the settings here and go to notifications. Here you can choose to enable or disable notifications. It's very important to enable them, of course. And this is the default notification. You can choose if you want to send this notification to the administrator of the website. So as you can see here, it will be automatically sent to your website administrator. Or you can also insert here a custom email address. For example, if you want to receive all these notifications to your info address, for example, take a tutorial, info@takeatutorial.com, for example, and here you can enter a customized subject line. For example, you can say you got a new contact Okay, and then you can also use smart tags. For example, you can display there the email address of your new contact, or you can display some other stuff. As you can see here, there are plenty of data that your form is collecting, and here you can choose the name of the sender of this email. For example, you can insert directly the name of the people that are filling up the form. For example, name, and you can also add from for example, so that you know immediately which kind of leads you are receiving. And the from email, it's important here, it's very interesting. You can set up the email of the sender directly, so you will immediately see the email of the people that are contacting you. And okay, and this is a message that says that the address does not match your website domain name. This can cause your notifications email to be blocked or marked as spam. Okay, we strongly recommend that you install the free. Okay, we will get rid of this because I think it will work perfectly now at the moment. And we will say also reply to email address. We will leave like this because it's perfect. Okay. And we can use the email message. Okay, let's leave it on all fields, so we will be sure that in our email that we will receive, there will be all the different fields that the form is collecting. Very important this. So at this point, we are ready to see that if we want, we can also test this notification. And we can also, before testing this notification, we need to go to confirmations and to see what happens when someone fills the form. So we can choose here to show a custom page, to show a message, or to go to an external URL in an external URL from the website, for example. But in this case, we can just show a message. We can leave this message, or we can customize this message as we want. And I suggest you to leave exactly as it is down here. Perfect. So this is the confirmation that people will receive when they will write down and will through our contact form. And under notifications, we will be able to add multiple notifications, but this will happen only in the Pro version of WPForms. So, for example, when we have the Pro version, we can also send a notification to the people that are filling the form, for example. But in this case, we will just use this custom message in order to say to the visitor that the form was correctly filled and that we received the message. Okay, that's it. We are ready to save our form here. Great. And once we saved our form, we can simply click on voila on the X here, and we can copy and paste this short code wherever we want to insert our form. In this case, we will have to insert this form to the contact page. So if we go and visit this page, we can click on edit page, and if we scroll down, we'll see that there is a block here that contains directly our form. As you can see, it's immediately updated with our custom fields that we added before. We have the privacy policy and all stuff, and there is a custom block which is called WPForms. So if you don't have this form here, you remove it, and if you want to add it again, you just go to WPForms. You'll find it here, and from here you can select the form that you want to display. It's very easy. So you don't need to copy and paste the shortcode by hand, but you just need to select the form, and you'll see it like this. Okay, once we've done here, we can click on update the page, and we can go and visit it and make a simple test. So perfect. This form looks gorgeous, as you can see here. Perfect. And what do we need to do now? We just need to open this page maybe in a incognito tab, so we can just test it like if we were some random visitors from the internet. Let's go to the contact page and let's fill the form. So, okay, we want to get in touch with you. Okay, great. My name is Pascal. My last name is Claro. And my email address is info@takeatutorial.com. Here I can confirm my email address. Perfect. And down here I need to choose one of these options. For example, this one. If I choose more than one, as you can see here, there's an error message, so I can uncheck this one and I leave this one. Here I can type in my message, and here I can insert my website, but it's not mandatory. As you can see, there's no red mark here, so I don't need to fill this form, and I can go and accept my privacy policy. So here, when I click on this link, as you can see, it redirect me to the privacy policy page. Great. So here I can click on send message, and I will be okay. I'll see this message. Perfect. If I want to make that message more visible, I can just go here and try to tweak it a little bit. So let's go to the WPForms all forms. Let's click on contact form, and here we can try to go to the settings and confirmations, and here we can make it bold, for example, and let's see if there is some more stuff we can do. We can use a block quote, for example, or we can try to add this, for example, anything we can add in order to make it more visible, for example. Okay, under the text mode, there's nothing special to use, so let's do like this. Okay, and maybe we will center it, okay, at the center of the page. Great. Save. Okay, so now it will be a little bit more visible once people will fill the form. And from the administrator point of view, from the admin point of view, we will receive a notification. Let's go and check it out. Okay, I just received this email. As you can see, everything is working fine, and I have all my data here in the form. So as an administrator, I can read the name of the person that is contacting me. I can see the email address. I can see also the custom choices that he made or she made during the filling of the form. I can see also the custom message, and I can see also that the person has accepted my privacy policy. That's great. That's great. As you can see, it's very simple, and we can keep track and record all the different people and leads that we will receive from this contact form. That's great. It's a very simple way in order to configure this form, but it's very effective, and it allows you for free to start collecting leads. Now let's finish to complete the other pages. So I will give you some more input from a design point of view and also from a content point of view. So let's go, for example, on the services page. In this page, we can customize everything as always, and we will go in this page from here, services. I'll just close all the other pages that I don't need at the moment. I can go and edit my page. And here I need to be careful to the mobile responsive side of stuff, of things. And I can go simply here in this column. I click on the white space of the column, and I can choose under block and background to apply a custom image if I want. I can click on the image here, and I can choose this one, for example. Okay, now that I've chosen an image, I can also insert a call to action if I want directly on the image. I can click on the add block, and I can click on button, and I can add one custom button here. Click me. And here you can also have a custom CTA, for example, for CTA for the contact page, for example, or whatever you want. You can place this at the center, but if it's not working, you need to click here on the double button like this and clicking on Align Text Center. Perfect. Now here you can click on full width buttons. Perfect. It will be more visible, and you can choose. If you go on the column settings, under alignment, you can go under center if you want, or here you can stretch, or you can put everything down. But in this case, we don't need to do so. We just need to go to the style settings, and we will see if under the container size and spacing we can just move the button. Okay, as you can see here, we can center or put the button down here. That's great. I love this kind of option. And if I want, I can also get rid of this button here. So I click on the double button here, and I click on remove button group, and this button I can change the color if I want. I can make it different. For example, under button colors, I can choose a darker color, and once someone goes above this button, I can choose hover, and I can change the color to green, for example. Now I go back to normal state and I can test it right here. That's great. And also for the text color, I can choose hover and I can change it to dark. Okay, now I go back under normal and that's it. That's pretty cool. Okay. So now if you want to keep it more visible, we can also bold it a little bit. Okay. And okay, great. Now we can also add an icon. We can go under button icon. Okay. We can choose a different icon, for example, an arrow like this one. And we can also leave it like this because it's great. And if we want to change the color of the icon under the hover of the mouse, we can do like this and like this. So when my pointer will go, okay, that's perfect. That's great. Let's go on now. And as you can see, it was pretty easy to set up these functionalities. We just need to see how everything works when we go to the preview mode and to the tablet mode. Perfect. That looks perfect. Okay. And under the mobile mode. Okay, that's great. It works fine, and there is the CTA here, and everything is fine. Okay, we can update the page now, and we can go back to the normal view, so the desktop view in this case. And we can scroll down, we can add an image here, and that's an important part, to add an image of our services or of ourselves, for example. And here we can directly make people go to the contact page, for example. And of course, as always, if you need to click and enable a link for a button, you can go here on the gear icon, you can go on style, on link, and you just type in this case, contact page. Okay, update. We can, okay, here in the background, it's interesting because we can apply a parallax effect, which is kind of interesting. We can go in the background here, select an image, this one, and we can click on select. And as you can see, the image behind will stay fixed while we are scrolling in the page. That's great. Here we can add some steps to illustrate our way of working. Which is great, or we can also add some call to action to different kind of services that we are offering. It's up to you, what do you want to do in this page, and by using these boxes. And of course, as always, you can choose different images for each part of, for each card. So for example, this one and this one, I choose this one, and for the other one, I will choose my third image. Okay, so now you can also duplicate this column if you need more of these cards, if you want. In order to do so, you just click on the three dots here and you click on duplicate if you want. Or if you don't want to do so, you can go on Ctrl Z or Command Z. Okay, and you can simply go here, for example, and you can also delete this group of columns. You can go and remove columns container. So here we can just change it to 3 steps process. Okay. And here we can add a video, and in order to do so, we need to click here and to see what's inside here. In this column, there is an heading, there is an icon. Okay, if we need to link this button to a video, we will be obliged to link to a video outside our website. So maybe it's easier to add a video module. So we can do /video, we type video, and we have the video pop-up module, which is very powerful. So here we can get rid of this icon, we can remove it. We can also remove this background if we want, or we can just change the color. And of course here we will need to change the color of the text. And we can simply apply a video here. So we can go on YouTube, for example, and we can go to take tutorial channel. And as always, we can choose this one, for example, my first tutorial in English. Okay, that's the URL. And I can go here. No, sorry. I can go here, okay, and I can paste this URL directly into this field. Now if I update, I can also choose a cover image for this video, and I can go to the media library and I can maybe, oh why I don't see anything. I can select some files maybe. Okay, I was just in the wrong position, So I don't need to go here, but I need instead to go to the, maybe to the block settings, no, to the style settings. That was correct, but I need to go over here in order to select an image. So I need to click on the gray space now, and now it will prompt me, it will show me this window, so I can select here and select my preview image. That's it. Okay, if I need to change the color of my play button, of my play icon, I can do like this, and I can make it more visible by having a maybe a background, no, a background shape, but icon shape, yes, of course. And I will use outline color, for example this one. Let me check if, okay, and maybe there's a shape color. No, that's not good. Under the icon, that's weird. I don't have the background, but I can enable it in the block. Okay, perfect. I can go here. I can maybe turn the opacity a little bit, okay, like this, and I can go to border. As always, here I can choose a border, and maybe like this, and of course it will need to be at least like this. Okay, and I can get rid of the icon border. So we'll go back to my style settings, and I go to icon, icon shape, yeah, icon shape, and I clear the color, and I clear also the width here, and voila. I just need to change the color of my icon here. I can put it like this, or maybe like this. This one it's great, and I can increase the icon size. Maybe I can do it like this, 55. Okay. Okay, that's it. I can update. Okay, maybe there's a little bit too much space up and down here. I can go to style, I can go to block, sorry, and I can go to size and spacing. Perfect. So instead of 250, I will type in 150. Update, and I can preview my page. Okay, that's a great page. Perfect. We have our steps, and we have our video. If it's too big, as you can see here, it's a bit weird. We can just go inside here, the column, and we can choose under size and spacing to have a maximum content width. So we can type in 720, for example. We have to horizontally align everything, and if there is this kind of weird stuff, we can just go backwards like this. Okay, and we can go to the background. No, we can go directly to the video here. Okay, to the pop-up video, and in this video we can go to block, we can go to size and spacing, and now we type in 720 and we put it horizontally centered. Update. Let's go and preview our page, and now it will look perfect. Wow. If we click here, the video will start. This video, perfect, with a pop-up, as you can see. It's very interesting. And now here you can also add some great images and links to whatever pages or part of the website you want. So you can just customize everything by clicking on this part, for example, by going to the block settings, by going on the background settings, and you can just add new custom images like this. You can go here, make the same thing. Can go here, and so on. So you can change also text, and you can also click on the block here, and you can go under advanced, oh no, sorry, under block, and you will see a link section here that will link the entire block to the page or to the URL you want. So for example, if I want people to go to the about page or to the contact page from this box, I can simply link all the box with the contact page, and if I update and preview my page, I go and preview it, I will be able from this box directly to click on it and to go to the contact page. That's awesome. Okay, in order to finish our designing part, let's finish with the about page. If you don't need to follow these steps, you can also use the timestamps below and go to the parts of the video that you want to follow, and you can edit now the about page. So let's go inside here. As you saw before, we insert a slider here, in this part of the video. Let's check if we can also. Okay, we also have a block slider block. So if we create some sliders using this plugin, as I showed you before in the video, you can also use this block in order to display whatever slider you want in your how do you say, in your website. For example, here if I type work, I see the slider latest works, and that's interesting because I can see immediately a preview of my slider, and I can remove my shortcode here. And it's better, I think. It's a better way to insert sliders in all your pages. Here we can put a custom signature, for example, or our logo. Yeah, that's great. And we can customize, as always, everything. We can choose a different image here, for example, this one, or this one, or this one. Yeah, it's okay. And then we can go on here and we can upload all the pictures of our team, for example. It's a great way to display a team members in this kind of different boxes. It's great. I can just make some examples like this. I will use the same one for all the boxes. Okay. In the Pro version, we can also have some animations, some cool animations. So you will be able to animate each box, for example, when people open the page for the first time and stuff like this. And here you can go and personalize the background. So we can use a custom image, maybe this one. Great. And then down here you have a gallery. This gallery now has no images. If you want to customize them, you just click on replace in each and every image, and you can just choose them, and you will just have to replace them one by one. And the interesting thing here is that you can also change all the appearance of the gallery. So if you want to customize, let's go inside here, replace, open media library, go here. Okay, and the last one now, replace, and we will use this one, for example. Okay, so you have a lot of custom images, and you can go to the upper hierarchy level. We select the gallery, or we can just go here and we see that there is a gallery here at the end of the page. We select this gallery, and to the right side we can decide if we want to crop images or if we want a masonry style like this, or crop. Then we can choose the number of columns, for example, like this or like this, and so on. And we can also choose a lot of different options, as you can see here. And if you want, you can also link a single image to a page by clicking on this icon here. You can link the image to the contact page, for example, and so on. So you can update, and that's it. If you want, you can also round your image style like this one. I've rounded it. It's a bit weird. So, or you can also apply a border style to your gallery. Let's see if you can apply it to all the gallery. Let's go and see. Of course, here you can enable no spacing between images, or just increase or decrease the spacing. And maybe like this. We can do like this. Okay. And okay, here if I go here and I try to upgrade my border radius, for example, I put kind of not this one, it's not a border radius, this is border radius. I go on 20. If I update my page and I go and preview it, let's go to the bottom here. You will see my gallery. It's completely customized. Perfect. Okay, I didn't see the option to link this border radius to all the pictures of the gallery. I think there should be an option to do in order to do so, but I don't find it now at the moment. So maybe I thought it was here, but there's no option about that. So maybe they will add this option later on to Gutenberg Gallery. Okay, that's it. We can update and we are ready to go on with our tutorial. The last part that we need to customize is the blog part. We will go really quick on this because I think I will make a different tutorial just in order to talk about blogs, because blogs can be really complicated if you want to set up a blog correctly. And let's dive in a little bit also in this tutorial. It will be we will be short, but we will be very intense. So if you can see here, there is a page with some different kind of blog posts which are automatically generated by our starter site. If you want to control this kind of content, you just need to go to your dashboard and you need to go under where is it? Okay, under posts, under all posts. Perfect. From here you can choose if you want to select all the posts and simply move them to trash, which is a great solution, or if you want to edit them in order to insert your content. But in this case we will just move them to trash and apply the solution. Okay, and we will create some new content. So we will start by creating 3 new posts, custom posts. Okay, or maybe we can just do like this. In order to do more quickly, we can click on these 3 and we go on bulk actions and we restore them, because like this we can start with some content. So we go inside the first one and we see that we can change the title here. We can say we love creating websites with Blocksy and WordPress, or with WordPress directly. Okay, here you can insert your content. Of course, as always, you will be able here inside to insert anything you want. In this case, regarding the blog posts, I strongly encourage you to use only the black and white parts. You see here, these are the native WordPress parts, and so if later on you decide to change theme or to change blocks, for example, and to switch from one plugin to another, you will be sure that all the content of your blog will stay exactly the same. It's very important to do so. So for example, if I want to add a paragraph, I add a paragraph. If I want to add a heading, I add a heading. Hello there, for example, and you can change the hierarchy of the headings here, and this depends on the structure of your blog post. And if you want to add some images, for example, don't go for the colored image, but choose the black and white now. Because as I was mentioning before, it's better once you start creating maybe 100 or 200 or 1000 blog posts, it's better to base them entirely on the native on the native blocks of WordPress that are the black and white blocks. In the media library, you can also add images, as you can see here. You're pretty free to do anything with these images. You have some cool effects here. You can make them quickly black and white on our duotone, as you can see here. And you can also add some border radius, some border like this or like this, and so on. It's quite easy to manage pictures, also images, also in with the black and white blocks. And you can also add links and whatever you want. And going on, you can also take advantage of all the Gutenberg blocks. So you have a lot of kind of blocks here, and that's it. You can just explore and add whatever you want to your blog post. Okay, once you've done here, you can go back to post to the upper right side of the page. You can check the URL. This is very important from a SEO point of view. For example, if I want to match, the best practice is to match the URL with the title. Not always, but in general, it's a good solution in general. So we will have the same keywords for the website title, for the blog post title, and for the URL. Then we can go back here, down here, we can set a feature image, which is very important. Maybe we can set this one, for example, and we can go to tags. If you want, you can add some tags here. The most important part is, of course, add categories. You can add new categories from here, and you can manage all these categories from the back end. If you go on posts, if you go on categories, from here you can delete them, you can create new ones, you can add description to categories, and so on. And Now we just go back to the blog post we were editing, and we can publish it. Once we are ready, we can publish it. We can also save draft, or if we want, we can also schedule this post just by selecting a custom date in the future here. In this case, I will just publish it immediately. Okay, and if I click on view post, or if I click on preview here and I preview in a new tab, I can see directly my new post, which is published. That's great. And the image here doesn't work very well, so I can just change it. And in this case, for this kind of design, it will be great to use maybe this same image I have here. So I will choose this one, set as feature image, update, just go back to preview. And what I see here is the custom template of my blog posts. I can customize it using Blocksy options, and you will be surprised on how much you can customize everything of this part by using the free version of Blocksy. You can just click on customize, for example, and you need to go to blog right now, to scroll down, to post types, to go to blog posts, and go to single post in this case. If you want to customize the part of the title, like this one, you can just click on the post title part, and you can choose which design you want to use. This one is the type 1, and it's a little bit more simple, as you can see here. Now it's white, so you don't see it, but once you go to design and you change the color, you will just see the title. It's very easy. And the second type, it's the number 2 here. And in the number 2, as you can see the custom image behind and the text in the front. For example, here I need to make it white. And it will work better if I go to maybe to 60 pixels here, for example, or something a little bit less, okay, 50. And of course, I will need to check under tablet mode, go to 40, and under mobile mode, let's go to 30. Okay, maybe a little bit more, maybe 35. Okay, perfect. And we can also increase the contrast between the background image and the text. So we can choose this color, for example, and we can slowly go down and decrease the opacity. As you can see here, it works quite well, and it's great. So I can publish my changes, and I can also use an excerpt color, which will be great if it will be white. Publish. Let's go again under desktop mode. Okay, that's great. And we can go now on the X upper left side of the page, go back under edit post. And one other thing which is very important in order to manage a blog well, is to add a summary to our blog post. We can go to excerpt here, not summary but excerpt in this case, and you can add here a short excerpt of your post using keywords for SEO. Okay, keep in mind that excerpt for SEO, that each part of your blog post will be fundamental to for SEO. So you will be asked by Google to correctly use all the keywords and to correctly showcase all your content in your blog posts in order to be found on Google and on other searching engines. Okay, so we got this beautiful design here for our blog post. As you can see, it's very simple, and you can obtain a cool design by starting from scratch. Here there is a little bug. As you can see, you don't see the checkbox, which is very important. If you want to customize it, it's very easy. You can go to customizer, and you can go to forms, entry content, something like this, under general and form elements. Okay, that was the correct word. You can go to scroll down to radio and checkbox, and you can change this initial color. You can change it maybe to this one. As you can see here, it's more visible. You can publish. Okay, that's it. Now we created your first blog post. It was very easy. You can customize a lot of things more. You saw from the customizer that in the single post you can choose whatever you want to replace or to delete or reorder, reorganize, whatever you want. Now you can go to the blog page, because this page will be the page where you will showcase all your blog posts. It's very important to take control of this page, and in order to do so, you will need to check. If you don't see correctly that page, you will need to check here to have created a blog page So you need to go to pages and to check that you have created at least one page dedicated to the blog. In this case, there is a latest news page, which is called like this, and you need to check in settings and reading, okay? You need to check that the post page is correctly assigned to your page. In this case, it's the latest news page. So when we save changes now, we go back to the latest news page, which is the blog one, and if you go to customize, from the customizer, you can scroll down to blog posts, and now you can go to blog post general page. So it's this one. Once you click here, you can choose how to display them, and each kind of structure will reflect directly, as you can see here, in your page. So you can choose the most interesting for you. Like, for example, this one, it's cool, and I can leave it like this. I can publish. And I can also customize completely all the cards. So I can go on cards options. I can change the position of the elements. I can change, for example, I can put this post meta under the excerpt if I want. I can also add a read more button if I need it. I can customize the button. I can customize the sentence here, for example, and whatever we want. We can also show an arrow to invite people clicking on this button, and we can customize everything. It's very easy and effective. We can also go to design here, and we can scroll down to border radius. We can go and make it 20. And in order to make it more visible, we can also go to the card border, and we can also add a border if we want. And we can also customize card shadows. For example, we can enable card shadows, and we can also maybe select this color and make it a little bit like this. Let's see if there is, okay, like this, very light, but we can still see it. We can go and publish, and that's it. We created a beautiful blog page that will showcase all our latest blog posts. So if we create another blog post, we go to new, to post. We can create a new one from scratch. We can say, hello, I'm a blog post, for example. Here you can type in your content, maybe this one. Remember also to use always the black and white blocks here, the native WordPress web blocks. Then go back here and you can insert whatever you want. And then remember under post here, choose a good URL. Once you publish, you will be able also to see it correctly and change it if you want. Perfect. And here you can also add some categories, for example, this one, or design, for example, okay? And feature image, of course, that's very important. You can choose, for example, this one. We can go down and write an excerpt, a great, for example, and we can add some words to it so we can see it on the front end. And basically that's it. That's all you need in order to create a professional website, a professional blog, and to publish it on the internet. Let's go to view this post. Once we update, we can view it, okay? That's it. It's a new blog post. As you can see, there is your content here. We can navigate easily to the previous one and to the next one and so on. Very easy. And once we go back to the blog, we will see our new post. Wow, perfect. And then there is also the category pages, but in order to take advantage of all these pages and so on, you will need to go deep into the customizer and go on with all the customizations. But it's pretty simple, as you see, and it's awesome all you can achieve with this blocks based theme. Thank you very much for following this tutorial, and I'm very proud of you if you just arrived at this point of the video. It means that probably you have just created your website, and so congratulations! I'm very happy and proud of you. If you want to share your website with the community and with me also, you can share it by joining the community at takeatutorial.com/join. It's completely free and we're waiting for you to join. One last thing, if you want to help me now, you can just like the video. It would be great for me, and thanks in advance if you will do so. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel of Take a Tutorial, and you can also comment this video and share it with your friends. You can also share your feedback about this tutorial down in the comment section below, and now I say goodbye and see you in the next video.